Welcome into the Cam and Strick Podcast, episode number 131.
What up?
Why you look so tired today?
Oh, my God. Man, I told you, man, I don't have kids, and Kate and I have a free life until about 2 days ago when we saw a puppy pop up on a goddamn computer, of course. Kate's cruising, and it was adorable. And we're like, okay, let's go foster this thing. So we go over there, of course, and she has a twin sister in the same litter, and they're absolutely adorable. So I got both of them, and that is a pain in the ass, Andy. 2 hours of sleep last night. They are nonstop. They take all the energy out of you, but god dang, are they cute though, Andy? Holy moly!
Okay, hang on. First off, they're not twins.
Yep.
Like these are dogs. They come in a litter, don't you know?
Okay.
Like puppies
They look alike. They look alike. They might not be
trouble
twins.
figuring out. You're having trouble figuring out which one's which, or what?
Yeah, one's I'm looking at him right now. Kate's outside with him right now. I feel bad for her because she's got to work today too. And just like the one has a little bit more white on, but they are absolutely adorable. We have a huge yard. All the other neighborhood dogs came over yesterday on our street, and it was very, very cute. But it is a lot of work, Andy. I mean, they're not potty trained. I'll tell you that right now. I'm going to name them Poopy and Pee because that's all they do. And so it's going to be a lot of work, and I gotta adjust my schedule now, man. It's like you do what you want, you're free, and all of a sudden, boom, no, you're not free anymore. Now you're owned, and you're owned by a couple puppies, and you just got to get through that stage.
All over your new house.
Oh, shitting and everywhere. I'm like, so they're always together, and all of a sudden, like, where's the other one? Where's the other one? And they always sneak off, and then you're like, they're all by themselves, and all of a sudden they come running real quick, and you're like, what'd you do? Pile of shit right there. And that's fine, man. I mean, I'll clean up whatever. I don't care. You know how much I love animals, but it is a game changer though. When you got two pups like that from the same litter, you gotta raise them differently. That you have to separate them. It's four times as much work than one puppy when you get two.
Okay, let me just give you a few of the experiences that I've had.
Yeah, thanks, Andy. Your first dog ever in life. Yeah, go ahead.
No, I've had several dogs, including Sierra, the best dog ever, that white German Shepherd who was badass. I've shown you a picture.
Yeah, white German Shepherds are bad to the bone, baby.
And it's funny because in college, we had 4 dogs in our house. Everybody had a dog.
That's Hoosier.
They may have been, we were in college, man. Everybody just had a dog. We had a huge, acre fenced, but they would either be scrapping or something would be going down. I mean, you just never know what's happening. Let me give you a little advice. What kind of dog is it? Just so I know, because that'll help me out here.
It's a pit. It's a pit lab mix. They look more lab.
From what I understand, pit bulls are very unpredictable. They're very dangerous. They attack, they bite, they may kill you in your sleep. Is that true? Is that true?
Yeah, it is. These might kill you. Or I might kill them. I don't know. No, they're more lab. They don't even look pit at all. They're just 2 rescues that, but I get what you're saying. Like, pits are hit or miss too, man. Look, I've had pit bulls that are the sweetest things in the world, and most of them are that way. But then you get one that's sweet, but you knock on the door, they're going to come right after you. They might not be sweet to other dogs. There's always some underlying thing with pits, and that could be dangerous, especially if you live in a neighborhood. So look,
Cam. For this session, you need to have quicker. I'm trying to evaluate and get to the bottom of it in terms of how to help you here. And you're giving the longest answer. So just answer my questions real quick, and then I'm going to help you here.
Yeah. What's the question?
Are you a foster parent? Are you keeping these dogs? Are they yours?
We're deciding that. Usually
when do you have to decide by?
I think a week, Andy. If I'm still alive in this week, if I'm still hanging on. But I think we're going to give it a week, see how it is. But we've never done this before. We've never fostered anything because usually, if I get a dog, I'm just keeping it, So, but 2, man, it's just well, this is going to be a little different. So,
okay. So when I got Blay, and we really have a lot in common here in terms of what we're dealing with here, because Blay was a little unpredictable. The neighborhood actually put signs up, say, watch out for this dog because there's a new dog in the neighborhood. Okay.
They're like,
Blay, make sure your dog's on a leash. People knocking on the door, being we're a little worried about this dog floating around the house. But the in-house accidents, man, I'm not having it.
Andy, it's a buzzkill
outside for that. Okay. I'm not having it. Blay knows. So we're not we just got to the point now, Cam, where the dog is now staying out of the crate. I'm not really putting it in the crate. You know, I mean, some people do this whole crate thing forever. I'm just like, I think he's graduated past the crate.
Who does the crate thing forever? Besides some hillbilly in Franklin County. Come on now, dude. You don't keep your goddamn dog in a crate, maybe for like a month, right? Or maybe a couple of weeks. How old's Blade? Like 3? That's like
Blade had his first birthday on 4/20.
So he's still a year. He's a year old, and he's still in the crate. Is that necessary still?
He's not in the crate. That's the point. I mean, he kind of likes the crate a little bit, although he's been fighting me a little bit about going in the crate. We moved the crate like out of the way. We put it in the basement because it was just kind of like, I don't really need a crate in my living room,
No, isn't that horrible?
But I've got some words, and I know she's listening. The lady who created Blay, whatever, she sold us Blay. I mean, she sold us a bill of goods here. Apparently, these golden doodles, they don't shed. This is the only golden doodle in the history of mankind that ever sheds. This dog sheds everywhere.
Really?
Like, since when do these dogs shed? It's shedding all over the house. I'm not having that either. So we got to figure that out. And Blay knows he's got to work on that. So
shave the motherfucker
on the shedding. But the crate is just kind of out of the way. We're not dealing with the crate right now and just kind of trusting him, and we'll see if he takes advantage of it or if he kind of plays ball with us. But so far, so good. With these pit bulls, man, I think I hear you talking to the dogs yesterday. You're getting too close to it. First off.
I think you're right.
Decided if you're going to keep the dog, and the way you're talking to the dog, they think you're keeping it.
They don't know shit. Okay. I mean, look, it is. They're puppies. Okay. I can't read into what they're thinking. They got to worry about what I'm thinking. But they are absolutely adorable. But it's you being in a brand new house. Like, you just built your house. So like when you see a pile of dog shit, you're like, oh, it's just like, fuck. You could be in the happiest mood in the world, and all of a sudden you see it, you're like, God damn it. I don't know how many rolls of paper towels I've been through the past 2 days, Andy, and Resolve, like I carry it around everywhere with me. Resolve and paper towels everywhere you go, because it's always something.
Is that a sponsor?
They should be. Paper towels. Bounty, where you at? Bounty women, the guy, the big bald guy on the paper towels. Where's that motherfucker sponsoring our show? I just spent a ton of money on you. Lord.
Bounty.
The quicker picker upper.
How big of a wheel is he?
Oh, he's banging house bombs all over the damn place. Him and that one other guy that cleans, Mr. Clean. They're both just smashing.
Smashing.
Good God.
Okay, he looks so tired, dude. Listen. You don't need
terrible.
You can't handle it. See, this is the thing about Cam. Cam acts like he can. He's like, I'm getting 2 dogs, whatever. It's all good. You think you're like a dog whisperer, dog rescuer, and the reality is you're just not equipped to handle this right now with everything else you have going on. So you got to make a decision within 24 hours. I'm giving you 24 hours to make a decision.
Think it is 24 hours? Is that fair? 24 hours?
Yeah.
No, you're right, Andy. I think you're kind of being facetious, but no, you're absolutely right.
I'm right.
I know you are.
You look stunned. You look stunned.
I look older than I usually do. I look weathered, even more weathered. I thought I could handle it, Andy. I thought I could handle it.
You look like Tan Mom. Okay.
Oh, God. I look like shit.
Hey, how's Kate handling it? She likes the dogs or what?
Yeah, Kate's going to be working all day. Kate's going to be working all day. She's going to be working at work all day. So she's going to handle it great. She's going to be just fine at work. So, I got to do this. You got to do the show. I got to move around, do this, do that. I got to call, pets. They got to get trained. There's a lot to go into it, man. And you're right, Andy. I'm like, Kate and I are like, have a couple cocktails. We look at the dogs like, yay, let's get these. They're cute. And then we go get them and they're like, wow, cute. And then they're like, whoa, like, oh my God. Yeah.
Yeah. Listen. And the thing is, Cam, I know you've got that par 3 behind you. Par 3. Okay. That par 3 with the burnt grass behind you.
Shitty
I mean,
course.
The greens look like shit, by the way. I mean, they got to figure that out. Okay.
Yeah. Fucking picturesque backyard. You
don't have a fence, man.
You're not allowed to have a fence in St. Albans.
Really?
Yeah. Because it's very, very prestigious. And
you know what that means? You know what that means?
Prestigious?
Well, no. I'll ask you that if you know what that means.
What means?
You can't have a fence. They're like, okay, this is to prevent little Hoosiers like you from bringing pit bulls into the neighborhood, to the golf course community. Okay.
Well, that means they would have a fence if they're worried about Hoosiers bringing pit bulls. They don't want these pit bulls They don't want a fence to block the view from the golfers, and they want lovely flow from the yard to go in sync with the beauty of the landscape of the golf course. So therefore, you're not making sense. The reason why there's no fences so you could have more beauty. Who the fuck wants to go to a golf course to see fences everywhere? You can barely see the house, this, that, and the other. No, I want flow, moving grass, lovely scenery, and that's what St. Almas provides.
You know what's going to happen? What hole are you on, by the way?
7 and 16, par 5.
Well, they're going to be on 7 or 16. And I'm going to see somebody running about a 4.340 running away from these dogs. Have you named these dogs yet?
Yeah, Pee-Pee and Poopy. I told you that.
Twist and Chase. One of those.
Twist and Chase. Yeah, no, I ain't doing that. The Twister probably wanted me to do it. Ty wants me to name Ty Domi wants me to name it Ty and Domi. Remember you used to be answer that?
I watched Little Max play last night. I hadn't really watched Columbus in a while, but it was on. You know, they got a couple local kids. Ryan McKinnis was playing. I'm glad to see him get some NHL games. And then Josh Dunn, another St. Louis kid, playing.
How'd he look? How'd Dunner look?
He looked good. You know, he's physical. I think, man, you can talk to this. Like, these guys don't know, like, when you're undrafted and you're trying to show that you belong, that you can play in the NHL. It's like, I don't think these guys know how they can play. They get 7 or 8 minutes. Last night he played 7. First couple of games he was playing 12. But it's you can't make a mistake. You can't take a penalty.
Yeah.
And it's they just run around trying to hit everybody. You know what I'm saying? There's no real composure or poise in their game because they don't have the luxury to just go out there and play hockey. You know what I'm saying?
Dude, yeah. And they're lucky they're getting 8 minutes. Imagine being 3.5, 4 minutes, 5 minutes sometimes. And they might only get 5 minutes at times, man. Could be a lot of penalties. Could be a lot of power plays. Shit, look at the Blues games. Fucking penalties all over the goddamn place. So, yeah, how do you get your rhythm? How do you stand apart from everybody else only getting 8 minutes? How do you stay on that damn team? How does Josh Dunn stay on that team? Well, you can only do so much. Well, you don't make a mistake. So that's always in the back of your head. So then you don't want to try new things because you worry about turning the puck over, which you should. So there's always a balance there. But then you got to run around a little bit because if you're not running around, then what the fuck are you doing? Because you're not really scoring. You don't have the puck enough and you don't have much ice time. So you have to do something, Andy. And that means go crush guys. So maybe they do look like they're running around, but that's kind of what they have to do.
Well, it is what they have to do. It's I watch, you watch the players, who play obviously in the top 6 role or whatever. They can just wheel around. Listen, they can float if they want to. They can pick their spots,
take a shift off.
They turn it over, whatever. They know they're hopping over the boards a few minutes later. It's just so much less stress to be a really good player, I can imagine, versus
until you haven't scored in 18
trying
games.
to survive or prove that you belong and just trying to earn another shift in another game.
No doubt, man. And it goes both ways on that. And sometimes it's easier to play that, mindset when if I just get the puck out of the zone, I get a couple hits in, hold the puck in the O zone. Don't make sure my Corsi's right. How do you do that? I don't know. Hold on the puck and don't lose it. Get some shots. Don't get shots through in your own end. They're all going to dissect this and see where you're at as a player, especially when you're a 4th line guy, and they're going to look at all those fucking stats and be like, well, he looks good in this area. He looks good in this area. Well, we'll keep him in. That's kind of how it is now. So certain teams are different than others, but you have to find a way to be productive, more productive than who you're playing against. And that's usually the other 4th line. So, but if you're a big dog, dude, look at Braden Shin. Fuck, 18 now, Andy?
19, I think.
19. Whoa. And we love him.
He had 2 assists last game, but 19 games without a goal.
Damn, boy.
But again, you think he's worried that he won't be in the lineup?
No, he's losing it, though. He's losing the fucking
he's losing it.
He's a hardcore son of a bitch.
Guys who score goals or whatever, I can't imagine what it's like to go that long without scoring. Brett Hall used to always talk about how he'd have nightmares that he'd never score again. That's got to be stressful as hell, man.
Well, I know from my end, it was so stressful because everybody wanted me to score for a year. And I was like, it's never going to happen. You honestly, Andy, you think that it's never going to happen. And it's just every game that goes by, I just hit the post, or one hit off this, or one this, that, and the other. And you're like, I might not get in again. And then finally it happens, and, the floodgates open, and then you don't score for another year like I did. But you're a goal scorer, then usually you find your rhythm. You just got to get one off to the shoulder pad or something, or a knee, or whatever the case is. But, yeah, it's stressful, dude.
I'm not having your attitude all weekend long too. You don't do anything, you don't socialize, you don't see anybody because all you worried about are these dogs. You just have dogs.
Yeah, well,
I got the dogs. I got the dogs.
It's responsibility. Want me to go my first night to a party all night long and have my wife take care of them when we put them in a crate for the first night? Well, no, I can't do that, dude.
Are you putting them in the crate right now? Is that what you're doing at nighttime?
Oh God, yeah. Oh God, yeah.
Are they loud?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Sometimes they're just. I can't. If they were potty trained, if I can just get there, that first big step, that's a big deal because I'm like rushing them outside, but then they play outside and I bring them back in and they shit. And I'm like, you were just outside. So once I get that down, I think it's going to be a lot better. I'm just in a grumpy ass mood this morning. I'm sorry to everybody. All y'all, don't fucking feel sorry for me. You guys are all busting your ass up in Saskatchewan, fucking grinding it, probably worried about money. Have to bitch to the family. Family's complaining about why is daddy not work? We do this. Can we do that? You know, there's a lot of other shit going on. So if you don't ever worry about me and my two little cute puppies ever, I'm just complaining to myself and I'm sorry about that.
All right,
sorry.
Bring these dogs over here. There's a lot I can do for these dogs. First off, I got to tell you, you got to get some shots. Have they been to the vet yet?
Yeah, Andy.
They need some like Parvo, Bordetella.
No. They got their stuff. They got
make
their
sure
stuff.
they have their shots.
Thank
Can
you.
they sit? Do they shake? I mean, your dogs.
Fuck no, they don't. Neither one. They don't even sit. They don't. They're crazy. They fight each other so bad to where they hurt each other. And if you read up on it, you got to separate them. Like there's a lot you have to do when you have two of the same litter, two pups in the same litter. It's just so much more difficult. But once you get to that point where they are understanding, then it's just like, oh, they lay on you and stuff like that. It's beautiful. But fuck, that journey to that point is very difficult. And
all right,
hopefully
true story. So this is Y2K, ready? Okay, so you know what Y2K was?
99?
Yeah, so New Year's Day of 2000. So I went with a bunch of friends, a lot of couples, and we rented a house like in like the middle of like Arkansas, like the middle of the woods. It was beautiful, actually.
Yeah, no, I know.
We're walking, we're going on a little hike and whatever. I get bit by a pit bull, and they've got lockjaw, Cam, like where you can't get them off your arm. And it was so cold, man. It was freezing. So I had this big puffy coat on, whatever. And this thing grabs my arm, dude. I'm literally like it wouldn't get off, you know, and people are like literally like beating it with a stick trying to get this dog off my arm. Yeah. Well, you know what I'm saying? Just like
Andy, you gotta do what you gotta do.
You gotta do what you gotta do. Okay.
You know, if a dog's going after your kid or something, you gotta fucking
this is like survival mode. Trying to get this dog off of my arm. And finally did. My arm felt like someone just like beat it with a baseball bat, man. I mean, it hurt for hours and hours now. So I've got some experience with the pit bulls. If you want to bring them over, I got some treats.
I don't want them to have treats. I don't want them to eat anything. I don't even want them to drink water because they're pissing over the damn place. No. So I don't want them to look. They're on their schedule, dude. Okay, I don't want them to go to your house. You're like, here's all the scraps for my kale diet. It's gonna go right through them. They're gonna eat all your fucking wheatgrass. They're gonna be shitting all over the damn place. I ain't doing it.
You have grocery stores out there?
Yeah, I get it delivered like a fancy lad.
Go get some soup bones from the meat department.
Yeah, let me write that down.
They'll hook that up too.
But yeah, no, everything's all good. It's all good. I feel sorry for my kitty cat. No, it's not. You can see it in my eyes, can you? I know. Who am I kidding? I'm fucking disaster.
So rattled right now.
I'm a disaster. My poor kitty cat, like now she's puking all over the goddamn place because she's rebelling against me. It's a fucking mess over here.
Check this out
over here.
So Iafrate, man.
Yeah.
I don't know what made me think of Iafrate. His name popped in my head. And I'm like, see, that's what it comes down to, man. Like when we make these decisions of who we're going to bring on and whatever, sometimes it just comes down to like, you know, who do we want to talk to?
Yeah.
Like, who do we want to like dig into, learn a little bit more about? And Iafrate, man, he had that skullet back in the day. He looked like a Hell's Angels, like motorcycle gang member, like playing hockey, you know? So
yeah, I get it.
He's cool as hell, though, man. We had a great conversation. I do want to tell people, you got to hang with the interview because he really warms up. And like the last 35, 40 minutes, man, or something, he starts really diving into some stuff and we're like, wow, it becomes super entertaining. It's funny. So it may be slow a little bit. He's kind of a slow talker and like, you know, just very, very chill individual. You know, he's not like going to be coming on just throwing zingers.
No,
like
I know, but
that we're going to have on after Iafrate. We'll save that. Man.
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah. But
this guy's just like just basically they just like filled him up with whatever they filled him up with, and he just came ready to roll.
Oh, Jesus.
But Iafrate, man, he was cool. He had that big shot, man. And so he had a brand, like he left something behind from his NHL career, man, like where people are like, oh yeah, Iafrate, his big ass slap shot. Mm-hmm. So but it's like he had a teammate like trying to get with his wife, dude.
Oh God.
Have you ever experienced something like that?
Oh man, no. That is the most gutless thing you can fucking do. I mean, really, you're a weirdo if you pull that bullshit. That is bizarre. It is a bizarre thing. Now, it does happen, man, in all kinds of walks of life, and not just in hockey and football, and it happens. But that, to me, is the most gutless thing you could possibly do, is fucking step on somebody else's toes like that. Now, he said it didn't happen, but we were like, when I asked him a bunch of questions, I'm like, are you sure? Are you sure about that? And then they start dating, I guess, afterwards. So
yeah. Well, it was confusing because he's like, yeah, there were rumors they were dating, but they weren't. But then they ended up together, like right afterwards.
Yeah, I mean, come on, Andy.
I know people like that, and my buddy, one guy, he's just kind of like, dude, I'm telling you, my wife was not cheating on me, but the guy that everyone thought that she was cheating on you with, then all of a sudden they're dating like the day after you get divorced, Andy, dude. Like, yes, they probably were.
Andy. When your wife says, don't worry about him. Don't worry about him. He's the guy she told you not to worry about. Remember those? Remember that? That's how it ends. Let me say something. All right. If your wife has a friend that's a dude, and he's young and they're the same age and he's a dude and you don't know him and they're friends. Look, I don't have one friend that I call it's a girl. Like, not one. Andy, not one. Hannah, we work together. I had to call her for different things. There's not one girl that's not associated with work or anything that I call and be, hi, oh, we're just friends. Not one. Because that's ridiculous. I mean, kind of is. Like, if she doesn't know who she is, like, I'm friends with Kate's friends, but I'm not calling them. I'm not like having a secret texting them like we're buddies. No, man, all my buddies are dudes, okay? Everyone. And if I was hanging out with girls all the time, like it just doesn't work that way, okay? Not in my walk of life. I don't know. Do you have? Let me tell you something.
Girls? That's a no-no. Like, you can't be a dude and be friends with my wife at the same time. You just can't be calling my wife.
No.
And just being a friend. Listen, I had friends like everybody else, like in high school and college and stuff like that, who were girls, whatever, and maybe they were single and stuff. But once they're in a relationship, like, I'm not going to do that to the other dude. Like, call your girl and just like have small talk and be like, hey, what are you doing?
Hi. Oh, what are you doing tonight? You want to go shop? What are you doing? Let's do what? Like, imagine, guys, think about it. Look at your wife. And then look at her phone and imagine she has a fucking conversation with me for like 2 pages. You'd be like, what the fuck? You'd be like, what the fuck is this? You would. It's psychotic. Like, you can't. Oh, don't worry about that. It's like if I was texting girls all the time, Kate would be like, what the fuck are you doing? You have a ton of friends. What are you friends with her for? Especially she's hot too. Like, what is that? Come on, Andy. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't.
I'm surprised the whole locker room wouldn't get involved. Listen, it is what it is. I mean, that situation took place here in St. Louis years ago.
I know. We got to get one of those two on. We got to get one of those two on, Andy. And I think everybody knows who we're talking about here.
Hey, could you ever forgive a teammate who all of a sudden starts banging your wife while you're married to her and you're playing with him, like sitting next to this guy in the dressing room?
God. Fuck. It's a fucking nightmare.
And then they trade Iafrate. He was the one that said, get me off. God. And then you see him years later at like the alumni games. But Iafrate, listen, he's got a big heart. He's a great dude. He turned the page. He probably wanted to kill him at one point. But he's in a good spot now. He's not holding back any anger. I just can't imagine that this goes on, whether it's in the workplace, but in an NHL or professional sports dressing room. I mean, there's got to be some type of code where you just don't go there. I mean,
well, yeah, the code's there, but you could break it. You can break any code, but it's not just about him either. It's like she sucks too. Okay, they both suck. So like, but he's your teammate, so that just amplifies. It's so ridiculous. But if you and your wife are fighting, and she sees another guy, and you're like, I'm gonna go beat up that guy. It's not his fucking fault. It's her fault, right? Now, if you know that guy, that's a different story. But if you don't know him, then that's on you. You and your wife need to break up. That's not it. He's not. You can't blame him. But in this particular situation, when you know the dude and he's your teammate and he's fucking bullshitting you like that, damn, man, that is an absolute nightmare.
You know what I do hear though, Cam? Like right. I've known some players like who have gotten married or whatever, and then you hear like the girl they married used to date this player or that player or that player. It's like some girls just like, they kind of find their way through the league, It's like they're trying to find their role too. They want to stay in the lineup, and it's not just hockey; it's baseball, it's basketball, or whatever. I mean,
Hollywood. I look at these Hollywood folk too. You're right, Andy. No doubt. And some of these big dog guys, I'm like, why are you dating such a high maintenance girl that does the same thing as you, that travels all the fucking time? Why would you ever want to do that? It's not going to last. Why don't you find some fucking hot, cute girl that's fucking nice and sweet and like loves you and doesn't compete with you and just has her own thing, but it's not like she's traveling. Like, why even deal with another fucking high maintenance chick that, you can get anybody you want. So it's always like these Hollywood people go back and forth with their Hollywood wife, and it just never, ever works. I will listen to Howard. I go back and watch Howard Stern interviews, and he is right. Every time somebody comes in, they're like, I'm dating this guy who's like another high up Hollywood. He's like, you'll be done in 3 months. And you look back in the history archives, it is exactly what happens every fucking time. It is so weird. Never works. It's all competition. Why would you want your wife to try to compete with you? It's always like, I'm more popular. I get more attention. Fuck that. I want the attention, Andy.
Well, I couldn't imagine being in a relationship, honestly, where you can't trust your wife, dude.
Oh, well, you just don't do it. Then that's on you. Then what are you doing? You don't know that right off the bat? Like, seriously, like when you're younger and you're doing this, like you learn a lot, man. I learned a lot dating girls when I was younger, trying to act cool, you just learn. But when you're older and all the signs are there, Andy, and guys, just like I know guys, where you got to look at them and be like, give your fucking head a shake, dude. Like, give your head a shake. No, she loves me. Dude, I'm not wasting my fucking time slapping you in the face saying, no, she doesn't. Like, I know for a fact. I don't like to do that, but sometimes I had to a couple times. And they're just brainwashed, Andy. They got blinders on. No. Yeah, dude. Open your eyes. I've done that plenty of times with guys, man. Because that happened to me when I was younger too. But when you get older, it's going to cost you money, dude. Figure it out. That's why you figure it out at a young age. So when you do get married, she's the right one because you've dealt with these kind of relationships before.
Have you been in a situation where one of the people in the relationship has cheated, the other one doesn't even know?
Yeah.
How uncomfortable is that?
Oh, fuck. I mean, dude, I've seen some weird stuff. And look, dude, yeah, man, it's very awkward. I told you, look,
especially when they're up on the altar and they're getting married, Cam, and they're like, I love you. You are the most important thing to me. I don't know where I'd be without you. They put that Instagram post out.
Yeah, and you roll your eyes and shake your head.
Or the Facebook post, and you're like, oh my God.
Oh, you married her?
Do you not know?
Oh. Well, it's more like, I don't care. Like the guy stuff, whatever. You guys deal with that. But if you know the girl is just like, you're like, oh, you're dating her. Oh, okay. Oh, look. It's happened, and it usually doesn't last long. And I've had to shake some guys around and be like, dude, just open your eyes. Yeah, a couple guys. Yeah, hey, because I don't like doing that. But this was a must.
Are you that guy on Facebook when it's your wife's like birthday or the anniversary? You are the most important thing to me. I don't know where I would be. You are my best friend. You are my lover. You are my wife. You are my everything. We take walks together. We bake cakes together.
I mean, do I look like a fucking poet?
Go everywhere together. You are my everything. I love you. Like, listen, one thing I can't do, I can't spill my heart on like social media for everyone to read. I'd rather like just tell my wife.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'll put a post up like, here she is. Love you, babe. Or something like that. Here's my baby girl. Or something like that. Short and sweet. Like, what's up? But you're not like, here's the reasons why I love you. Number one, no. Okay. No one reads that shit. Don't waste your fucking time. Just tell your girl. How about you put a cute picture of your wife and say, look at my wife. 1 year, 2 year, 5 year. Look at her. Badass, whatever. And everybody's like, oh, cute, cute, cute. But don't give me a long, drawn out fucking shit that you should just tell your wife anyway. No one's reading it.
You are everything to me.
I like the way the wind blows in your hair. I like when okay, shut up. Like, good God.
I can't take it.
Oh, nerds. Now, just post a cute picture and that's what you do. Because she likes the attention. Look, social media is a weird thing, man. When you post something and get a lot of likes, people say it's like doing a fucking key bump of good coke or something, or like taking a fucking hit of something that gets you going. It's weird. It stimulates your endorphins when you get a lot of likes. So when your wife gets a post and she gets a lot of likes, that makes her feel good. Mm-hmm. That is like, you read up on that shit. That's what they say. Yeah. So that's why
people
like, get addicted to it.
It's kind of like breaking a big story. I mean, it's like smoking crack. I've never smoked crack, but I would imagine that's what it feels.
It's really good. Try it, Andy. You should get into it at a late age. I heard.
Yeah.
Crack.
Do you snort it? Like, what do you do with it?
You do whatever you want, or you could smoke it thinking it's weed, but it's mixed with fucking crack. Then you're up for 2 days.
Okay. Well, don't do that. Okay.
I'm not doing it. You the one brought it up. Fucking crack. Don't worry about that. You gotta worry about my fucking puppies. I might start smoking crack. Keep up all fucking night. Keep up with them.
Your dogs are on crack.
There they are. There's a lot of meth out here, Andy.
Hey, could you imagine who the people are that like delivered those dogs? Where those dogs came from?
I think
how did they get to you? Like, what do you mean? Like, why are they with you? Where's their little mom and dad?
Probably from fucking Salem, Missouri. Like, this had a fucking tons of litters, and they just ship them out, and they go to a foster home. And there was one like 10 miles from our house, and we went to the people. I've been huge hockii fans, and they hooked us up.
Oh yeah. Oh, if they knew about you.
Oh yeah. So they're like, and then I'm like, okay, if I give them back, it's gonna, I just don't want to do that. I gotta work on this.
I've been fishing out in Salem a couple times actually. There's a couple places that I go. Red snapper. You ever caught a little red snapper?
Fuck no. I don't fish, dude. I don't fish. I like to just lay on the water, jam out, and fucking cruise. I'm not a fisher guy. Maybe when I get older, I will do it. I didn't have the patience. When I was on the water, I like to either swim, jam out to music, fly around. I don't like to be quiet at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock in the morning with a bunch of other fishermen and just sit there. Although it is enjoyment for a lot of people.
It's very relaxing. I got a private message. My messages are open for all the people out there, all y'all. I guess you need someone to talk to. Okay,
isn't that your cameo? Isn't that what you cameo do?
And somebody
how's that going?
You kept calling it a fishing pole. It's a fishing rod.
I don't care. I don't care. Now, all the Canadian folk out there, though, oh boy, they're shaking their head at me. Those guys are all fishermen, dude. That's all they do is like Chris Simon and Morasti, all those guys up there. They post fucking pictures of these fish they catch.
Yeah.
And it's like, they're all into that shit, man. I'm not, but I bet you I would get into it if I went fishing with somebody who knows what they're doing.
Hey, I'm glad you brought that up. My cameo is on sale, Cam. It's on sale. I have a discount. Weird. I have a discount.
Yeah.
I mean, this is what I do for the people. Like, I discount the price. You want to come on in right now? I was at $51 because Cam it was at 50 and I'm at a higher tier than him.
Yeah.
I'm better.
You're better than me as a whole.
Cam's at 50. So I mean, like when you're 51 and the other person's 50, it means you're better.
You're one better. You're one. This goes to 11. Spinal Tap.
So now I have a discount.
Good. How's that going?
Come on in. If you want to feel good about yourself, you need me to like talk about anything, including raising dogs, fishing, and everything else. I've done a couple of these, Cam, and it truly is. It makes you feel. You talk about endorphins.
That's what I'm saying.
Good after those too,
Andy. I told you that. I had my parents over yesterday, and I had Kate filming, and I did a couple of them in a row. And I go, look, they're my mom and dad right here, and I just kind of like look at my dad, like, and it was just kind of cool, man. It was beautiful outside. I brought the heat, energy, all that. And when you're done, and you're like, you watch it over, and you're like, oh, that's cute, and you press it, and you're like, ding, it's in. You're like, I feel good about myself. Yeah.
All right, let me Cam, turn your headphones off for a second. Let me talk to the people here for a second. Listen, I'm not having this. Okay, stop asking Cam for cameos. Cam's cameo. Come to me for a cameo. Okay, because like I've got some things in store, little tricks in the bag I want to share with you. So I mean, let's go.
Pathetic. Be more pathetic, Andy.
All right, bring Cam back up now.
Be more pathetic. Can you? Is that possible? Why don't you beg them? Why don't you beg people to come on? What are you going to give them, money? Is that the surprise? You're
know.
paying for your own cameos.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like ordering my own cameos.
Yeah.
Cameos very cool though, man. Like my in-laws are about to have their 50th anniversary. I said to my wife, I said, like, who's their favorite like singer, celebrity? Let's get them a cameo. I think they're cool.
I think they're really cool, man. Honestly, like I'm doing the Car Shield AAA team. They got 3 big games coming up this week. So I'm going to give them a pop-up speech. JP Bilson wants me to, he gets a list down of what I want to talk about, the captain, back check, and this, that, and the other. So I'm going to set the camera up and I'm going to bang it out and fucking give him a pump-up speech. And he's going to play it in the locker room before they go on the ice.
Yeah. And
they're going to fucking be skating 2-minute minors for the first period because they'll be so jacked up. That's all good.
Some of these are hilarious. Like you get like the 1980s, 1970s, like baseball player. They're like, "Hi, Susie. I want to wish you a happy birthday. This request was made to you by Jonathan Adams, who says you love Days of Our Lives." Well,
I'm a robot. I'm a robot.
I hope
Who the hell wants that? Get into it.
That's right. So I will get into it for you. Hit me up on Cameo. You know how to find me. And again, it's on discount. It's on sale. We are on sale.
You are on sale. You are on sale. Not me.
All right, let's get to Al Iafrate, okay? And this is good, man. Again, to our listeners, be patient with him because he turns it up.
Yeah, he does.
I promise you he turns it up. Badass dude used to shoot 105. He didn't have those one-piece sticks either, Cam.
Dude, he had no shit. He had a tree branch. Hit a 105. Some bitch could hit at 140 right now.
All right, Al Iafrate. Looking forward to this. It's always brought to you by Car Shield, Cam. 800-857-2481. Hey, best of luck with your pump-up speech.
Yeah.
And, of course, I'm available as well if they ever want to have.
Yeah.
I can do pump-up speeches for I can do graduation speeches, too, anniversary speeches, commencement speeches, whatever you need. We can certainly make that happen. And it's on discount. Did I say it's on discount?
No, not yet, Andy. You didn't say that. I say you say 10 more times during this live read.
Oh,
I say.
Okay, so listen, Car Shield, though. Pick your mechanic. Choose where you want to take it. You never know when something's going to go down in your car, so you want to make sure you're protected because that's how it works. Like if your alternator goes out, your computer, whatever it is, and all of a sudden now you're looking at thousands and thousands of dollars because your engine goes out. Well, you have your membership there with Car Shield. You customize the package that you want. Doesn't cost a lot of money. And then when something goes down, guess what? You're not out of pocket for thousands of dollars because you belong to Car Shield. Again, you choose where you want to have it worked on. You choose your mechanic. It's too good to be true. Plus, they hook you up with a rental car too. So
yeah, very easy, man. Remember the time my little episode I had in Eureka, or did my started and work on my truck? It's fucking embarrassing. I was like, So then I just call up the little mechanic I know right up the road. Talk to Car Shield. They come pick my car up. Boom, boom, boom. Done in 20 minutes. So it went from an embarrassing time to like, no, what? Screw this. I just got hooked up. So check out Car Shield. And not to mention, they're probably going to dominate this week because I'm going to give them a pump-up speech. Because that's what I do, Andy. That's what I do.
I like how you called it a episode.
Yeah, and an episode.
Yeah,
I had an episode. Many of them.
Yeah. All right, you don't want to have a episode in the hospital, man, because of a skate laceration. I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And that's a real thing that's going on, Cam, as you know. DaredevilHockey.com can help you prevent that. Listen, man, I'm telling the people, I'm not putting up with people not paying attention to this one because we're trying to promote safety and keep your kid from dealing with a serious, gross, disgusting, emergency, life-threatening in some cases, Cam. In all seriousness, it can be life-threatening. You catch arteries and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, and there's a lot of kids that get it right in the Achilles, and you don't skate ever the same, man. When you get a deep laceration like that, you're out for a while. It screws you up, and it's extremely dangerous, and it's unnecessary. It's unnecessary to put yourself in that situation. So I'm telling you, I wear even in alumni skates when you're tripping over guys and shit. Right. So it's no, I wear them in alumni skates. It's unbelievably comfortable. I'm a very big guy, very bulky, Andy, very bulky. And I put it on. I'm like, God damn, this is fucking nice. And you can't.
By the way, last week at the alumni skate, you weren't there. I scored 5 or 6 goals. Some of the highlight variety. Have you heard about that?
I usually chirp you in this situation, but I did hear that you did have a nice move on one of our goalies that skates with the Blues and that calls into the radio shows a lot, So I had to like chirp him hardcore, but I heard you played well. And it's funny when I'm not there that you play well, because if I'm there, you just get intimidated and then you turn the puck over because I'm thinking, see, like even when you were talking about these kids only getting 8 minutes a night, when I or Chaser are skating and Andy's out there, and Andy Andy comes across the blue line and trips or like coughs the puck out, you know it's on the back of your mind. It's like, what the fuck are they going to say to me? What are they going to say to me? And it completely affects you. Now, I wasn't there, and you go out there and it's just like smooth sailing. No one's going to fucking chirp me. I could do what I want. And you scored a bunch of highlight reel goals. And now I have to come out and be like, oh, you're good. Yeah, you're good. Just because I'm a good friend.
It's like playing for Torts.
With me. Exactly. Isn't that funny though? I swear to God, if just like playing golf too, man, like I could go chip around, do this, do that. If I think my neighbors are watching, I already met you. It's just in the back of your head. It's crazy how that works, but that is a real thing. So all you parents out there, by the way, when you're so hard on your fucking kid because you think you know everything, which you don't, and you yell at your kid and you're hard on them, think about that for a second. There's a lot of dads and moms that they don't know what they're doing, and they're just all over their kids so much where their kid has it in the back of their fucking head, and it's just they already have enough going on, and the parents should never be that way. But there's a balance. You want to be there and be like, you play hard for me, just like you talked about with Chloe. Remember that, Andy? You're like, I got to go to her games. I got to go to her games. I go, I know you do. Because when you're there, she sees you, and she's like, fuck that, I'm fucking going. Not in a negative way, in a positive way. Now she's like, oh, I'm playing for daddy because I know he's actually watching me and this, that, and the other. So but if you're hard on Chloe, she'll make, oh no, like you don't want that. You want her to want you to be there.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. No, she had a great weekend too. All right. So Daredevil lightweight compression base layer designed with Kevlar cut resistant fabric overlays. So it protects listen, let me just put it in simple form. Like all the areas where you can get cut, where it's dangerous, it's got this Kevlar overlay that's going to prevent you from getting cut. And it's cut resistant fabric, so it's not going to happen there. Mention the promo code Cam and Strick. That's all caps. Cam and Strick. You're going to save 25%. That's a pretty good discount right there.
Damn right.
It's 25%. So this is the best money you'll ever spend. Protect your kids. If you're a men's league player, protect yourself. And I'm not hearing about these skate lacerations if you're not wearing Daredevil.
Okay? Well, why not wear it? Like, why even put yourself in that situation again? Yeah. Even if you're not playing competitively, like you still. Shit still happens, man. Taking a puck to the net, whatever the case is, it happens.
I'm with you.
Hockey.
All right, Bellman.com. I see these parents in the parking lot, like with these small little cars. Some of them, they can't fit their hockey bag in. But then I see the one, the car part next to them, and it says Bellman on the back, and it's just a big hockey vehicle. I mean, that's what you find at Bellman. So again, Dan Bellman, out there in Troy, huge hockey fan, huge hockey supporter of what we do here on the Cam and Strick podcast too. Love Dan Bellman. Bellman.com, that's the website. Check out all the inventory. New cars, used cars, best customer service you're going to find anywhere in North America. I can guarantee that. I feel comfortable saying that. It is a guarantee. Best customer service you'll find anywhere in North America. And again, they've got something for everybody. They got the Cadillac, Buick, GMC. I'm looking at that Escalade. You know that. Mm-hmm. Other side of the street, just right there, the Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram. So again, like I said, something for everybody. And we love Dan.
I want that fat ass dually, dude.
Okay, enough.
I do. No, I do. I want that fat ass dually. Diesel. It's like Yellowstone. It looked awesome in Yellowstone. Badass truck.
Bellman.com. All right, Cam and Strick.
Too big for you.
Bundles are available right now at keepithandsome.com. People are starting to buy these, and we appreciate that. Again, you can get the Andy bundle or the Cam bundle. It's like, listen, there's always a choice. You can get Cam's cameo for too much money, or you can get my cameo that's on discount. And I'm doing commencement speeches right now, Cam.
Are you?
Yes.
You got a lot of books so far?
Well, several Ivy League schools.
Yes. Yeah. Let me see that when you do it, by the way. Send that video over. I'm going to take a look at that bad boy.
Several Ivy League schools have asked me, Brown University.
Maybe Arizona will, though. Then you go to, no, where'd you go to school? Arizona?
Northern Arizona.
Northern Arizona. What if they had, you already went back there and did a speech. Why don't you be like, no, I'm not flying all the way back. Do it on Cameo.
Well, actually, they did have me back 2 summers ago. I went back and spoke to the journalism school. Remember that?
No, but did they pay you?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Then that's
Good
fine.
amount
They
of
fly
money
you out there?
too. No, they fly me out, free hotel, and they pay me.
Dude, people make a ton of money giving speeches.
Yes.
Like a ton of money, especially the politicians.
And I kept it real with these kids. So anyway, get that Fight Ugly hoodie. It's available in Cam's pack right now. You can get the Fight Ugly hats available in my pack. And again, you're going to save a ton of money. As always, the promo code is Cam and Strick. We keep it easy for you. That's the promo code. But I use the beard moisturizer before I go to bed. First thing I do when I wake up. Before, like Blay is looking at me like, hey, are you going to feed me? I'm like, let me get the board. I put the beard moisturizer on Blay too.
That's not a waste of fucking. It's not a waste at all. Good God, that poor dog's so confused.
You can do anything with that dog. And anything with the beard moisturizer, the sculpting paste, the shampoo, the conditioner. There is nothing better on the market than what you find here with keepithandsome.com. It's got great graphics and everything. Like the visuals are cool. The hoodies are incredibly comfortable. They just lay on you. Fight ugly is what it says. And again, we fight ugly, fight the bullying that's out there in the portion.
Right.
Support the Montreal Resource Center. So we love everything.
Anti-bullying. Yeah. We support Montreal Resource Center. And again, we've been through the bully thing. So everybody has gone through something in their life when it comes to that kind of stuff. So we're all on the same page. So we're trying to help that out. And the shirts are awesome. People, everywhere you wear that shirt, people are like, what's that mean? What's this? So you explain it. It's cool. You get a lot of attention wearing that shirt.
Yeah. Oh, I'm looking for a new barbecue grill, by the way. If there's any barbecue grill companies out there that want to sponsor.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no shit. Like any big grill, like I want to get a couple more. Kate got me a fat ass grill.
A couple more.
Yeah, I want to get like an egg and stuff like that.
Feed the dogs? I mean,
yeah. I got to feed the dogs.
Should I get an egg? I looked at the eggs.
They're cool. They're cool. They're not that big. I have a monster I have a big back deck. My back deck's probably 10 times as big as yours. So I could put a big thing back there and multiple. So you have a small deck. So I don't know, maybe get like a little tiny Weber.
How many veggie burgers can I fit on this?
Yeah. What are you growing, by the way? Grass? Are you growing veggies all day? What a waste of charcoal that is.
Some corn.
I actually do that. I'll take corn. Listen, I'll give you a little take corn. I put like garlic and butter and all this like mismatch. Then I'll wrap it in foil. Then you put that bad boy on the grill.
That's what I do too.
Yeah. No, you don't. You do nothing like that. You didn't know anything to do. You don't even grill anything.
You can do fish. In fact, when I was in Salem, I brought some fish back that are in my freezer right now. I may throw on there. I'm waiting for someone to bring me a grill though. I need a new grill.
Yeah, you're waiting for somebody to bring you a grill.
Yeah, when I move,
hold your breath.
So hit me up on Cameo. We can talk some barbecue too. Cam, my favorite thing is I did a Cameo a couple days ago while I was cooking.
No, you didn't.
Okay.
No, you didn't.
Little lobster action.
I'll eat some lobster, dude. You can put lobster on the grill as well. You can put salmon on. There's a lot you could do, man. You can get creative on there. Should I put bacon on that thing in the morning? I'll just light up, put a whole big slab of bacon on there, and let that smoke for 3 hours.
Hey, before we get to Al Iafrate, because people want to get to that, don't forget about Ultimate Hockey Fans, man. These Ultimate Hockey Fans are amazing. They can take your man cave, your fan. Can you say man cave? It's a fan cave. It's not a man cave.
It's a people cave.
Oh, people cave. So you can take your people cave, your kid's bedroom, whatever it is, you take it to the next level. Your bar, your restaurant, wherever you're at, you pick your team. They can customize these ceiling fans for any NHL team that's out there. And it truly is incredible. Cam and Strick Pod.ultimatehockeyfans.com. You're going to save a huge, huge amount of money when you mention the promo code Cam and Strick there as well. But you got to go to that link. Okay, so it's Cam and Strick Pod.ultimatehockeyfans.com. We're going to Brody throw something up there on Instagram to remind people about that. We've got a bunch of stuff we want to remind people. Obviously about Keep It Handsome and all this other stuff too, man. Got to support the sponsors, including Ultimate Hockey Fans. So check it out. I've got it hung up in Ty's hockey room, man. It really is incredible.
Yeah, it looks good, man.
So check. And you can pick your goalie blades. You can customize it with like regular hockey sticks. Like it's incredible what Paul's done. So check it out. Cam and Strick Pod.ultimatehockeyfans.com. And they're sick ceiling fans too. This isn't some like cheap little ceiling fan.
It's a kid's dream, man, to have that, be able to look at that in their room and stuff. Like if I had that as a kid, like I remember my room had a bunch of different kind of things. You certainly didn't have a cool ceiling fan that had picked out whatever kind of blades you want. You can get multiple.
Did you have like Lady Gaga hanging up on your wall?
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense when I was a kid. she's like my age. So that's a good chirp, by the way, Andy. You really got me on that one.
You get the
Lady
wow
Gaga.
factor, by the way. The wow factor is what you get.
I've been to Lady Gaga's concert. I took Kate there when we first started dating. It was badass.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it was cool. She puts on a fucking show, man.
What she does.
It's a good date night. It's a good date night with your girl.
I think it was like an anniversary or something, or a birthday. I don't know. So I was like, do I do a Facebook post and be like, I love you.
I love you. I'm like, you like, it's so dumb to do that. Just put the post up, show your lovely wife, and be like, I'm tapping that, or whatever you want to do.
And get classy. Is that what you say?
No, but I said something corny one time just to be funny and kind of make, because I don't want to be serious on there.
Right. Okay. All right. Let's get to the interview with our boy Al Iafrate. People are going to love this, man. 105 with a wood hockey stick. What?
Yeah, dude.
A competition between he and Al McInnes. I mean, this is stuff this is why people tuned into the All-Star game back in the day.
No doubt. Now it's kind of just a sideshow, and it's still kind of entertaining, I guess. But back then, I don't know. Everything was better back then, I feel like, when it comes to entertainment. It's like too much going on now.
Now they shoot from the stands.
Yeah. And oh, remember that? That was the dumbest thing ever. Who made that up? That was the dumbest thing. Remember Brett Hall went up there and almost fucking fell?
Hey, we're going to have you shooting this from the stand. Okay?
Oh my God. Holly walked up there just fucking I'm like, oh my God, this is not going to be good. He walks up and he leaned into it, man. And he could have fell like 40 feet to his death in front of everybody.
Hey, memo to the league. If you're going to have
someone do that again
from the stands, there better be like $100,000 prize or like a new truck.
Okay. Yeah, because it's so, that was the most boring thing in the world. Like shoot from this, like, it was weird. It was weird. They might bomb that one. That's all good.
Yeah. All right. Good deal. All right. Al Iafrate, man. Enjoy this, everybody. Episode number 131 on the Cam and Strick Podcast.
Hello, this is Al.
What's up, Big Al?
Can we talk to Al, please?
Yeah, the big boy.
Can you get Al for us?
What's going on, man?
This is him.
What's up?
Oh, not a lot.
Where you at, man?
You guys?
Where you at? Where you living at right now?
I live in Plymouth, Michigan.
Good old Plymouth. I remember going up there playing in Windsor. Couldn't do shit because it's 21 to drink, so it's kind of not fun up there, but I know where you're at, big boy.
You just getting back from vacation? Where'd you go on vacation?
I was in Clearwater doing a little fishing and sunbathing and just pretending like I was a big shot, I guess.
Well, welcome to my world.
Well, yeah, Cam tans too in his front yard.
I go tanning in the tanning booth. It costs me out the ass.
So embarrassing.
Horrible.
So, how do you define sunbathing?
Just laying by a pool doing nothing.
Are you putting oil on?
Andy, I could have answered that question.
Drinking. No, I don't use oil. I'm a purebred Italian, so I don't need any.
Is there weirdos? So Clearwater, Florida, though, man. Like, do you get like approached by a couple and they're like, "Hi," and they're really nice to you, and you're like, "What the fuck does this couple want from me?" Is it weird down there sometimes?
No, I mean, I've been to other places in Florida where it's weirder, like the hippie towns, which I'd like Melbourne and Stewart, where the surf towns.
Yeah.
Stewart's a big fishing town. I like all of Florida, but Clearwater, I usually just go there because you're pretty much guaranteed really good weather.
Yeah,
that's what I'm talking about.
That's all that matters.
That's what I'm talking about. I don't know what Cam was asking. I don't know what kind of weird couples he's talking about.
Fuck that. No. That they got some things down in Florida, okay?
Do they?
It's a hillbilly Amazon down there, not just with the animals, but with the women and the couples.
Hey,
too.
Al, what's the hair looking like nowadays? You got that skullet or no?
You shaving that bad boy?
Well, who wants a man bun when you can have a skullet? You know what I'm saying?
No. I wish I had one.
You got to be a real man to pull off the skullet. No one says shit to you if you're wearing that.
No doubt about that.
No, I just I've been down to the wood for, probably my last 2 or 3 years in the NHL. So 20 plus years.
I know. I saw you come in town like a few years ago. You were working for Warrior. And I didn't recognize you. They were like, "That's Al Iafrate." I'm like, "Where's the hair?" You had like that. Can you describe the hair though? Because you had the long hair, Then it was like balding in a certain area.
Easy, Andy. No. Don't fuck around with that.
No, because Cam has the cul-de-sac going on right now.
Yes, I do.
But then you had the patch that was up top. So if you looked at you straight ahead, you didn't know that there was a bald spot. So who came up with that idea? Like, did you go to the hairdresser and you said, just leave this part
the dick question
alone? Like, how did you come up with that hairstyle?
Well, I think when you're young and start losing your hair, like early to mid 20s, it's kind of like a Samson thing, you know what I mean? Where you don't want to let it go. It's hard. And then you come to the realization once you shave your head, everybody, especially women, they're like, "Can I touch your? Let me rub your head." Then you're like, "Shit! I wish I would have did this like right at the beginning. Never even messed with the skullet." But I think most of it is just that you're in denial. You don't want to let it go. And the thing that's fascinating though is that you look in the mirror and you're thinking, "No one can tell that I'm going bald. It looks pretty good," but everyone can obviously tell when you're losing your hair.
Oh man, dude! I remember like in warm-ups, I love to go no Bucky, and then all of a sudden you're doing fine. Everybody's like, "Oh, cool, I see you no," and then all of a sudden people are like, "God, dude, that fucking glare off your cul-de-sac is really glaring." And it's like I can't even see
I know.
you, and you're like, "God damn it!"
All the bullying starts. People start bullying you about your appearance.
Well, I think Cam's still a little bit traumatized from that right now. But
I want to bag them all up.
But you got to be honest though. Like, it was part of your image though, Al.
Damn right.
Like, it kind of just like made you like a little more intimidating, don't you think? Like, you kind of had that intimidating look. Like, were you a nice guy off the ice? Like, what was your personality like inside the dressing room, off the ice? Were you on edge or were you pretty easygoing?
I was like, I've always kind of been a loner, not like in the true sense of a loner, but I've always kind of been a guy who did my own thing. And, I didn't need, a lot of people to go party or go hang out or whatever. I could find my way alone, you know what I mean? But the, off the ice as a teammate, I think I tried to be a really good teammate. Like, I always tried to be really good to the young guys, hang out with the young guys. Like, when I was playing in Washington, the guys I hung out with mostly were guys that were playing for the Skipjacks, because they had just built that brand new Piney Orchard, which by the time Cam got into the league, it was gone, and they were probably getting to the new one, or it was in that transition.
Yeah.
And then the Piney Orchard, when I got traded there, was brand new in the early 90s, and Baltimore played out of in Baltimore, and we played out of Landover, and the Piney Orchard was the practice rink. So, like Rivnak and Simpson and Jeff Greenlaw, like, I hung out with those guys all the time because they practiced if they weren't playing or on the road at the same rink we did after us or before us, depending on who had the game the night before. But I just tried to be that kind of teammate where I was, I was always into cars, old cars, hot rods, motorcycles, all that stuff. So, it was kind of weird because, like, way back then, when I'd pull up to the rink on a Harley, people, I know David Poyle was always worried. He was, worried about me being on a motorcycle and stuff like that. But, I was one of the only guys back then in the league that, was cruising around on a Harley all the time. And, I don't know if they do now, but I'm sure lots of guys do have bikes and stuff. But
They do. But you know what fucked everybody up on the bike thing, dude? Tony Twist, who's a good friend of Andy and I. We've interviewed him, and we're good friends with him. And we had him on, and remember that? Remember he was about to sign that, like, with Philly for $15 million something, like, a lot of money. And he gets in that goddamn motorcycle accident, and he, like, fucks himself so bad he couldn't even, get his groove on, if you catch my drift. And it was very disturbing for a lot of people. It kind of ruined his career. So we all got turned off by the bike thing, dude.
Yeah, let's see. I don't know. For me, it was always like a great, because I played, me and Hatch and Cote and Langway and Johansson, we were all like, 25 to 30 minute a night guys. So it was one of those. And back then, fucking day off was like, there was no days off. It was the more you skated and the more you worked out, the better. Obviously the advances in, how athletes train is great for the current guys. But for me, it was just, you're totally focused on the bike and your surroundings. So you really do forget about everything else. That's what I love about it, is when you get on the bike, it's, you better be in the zone, because, and especially now with texting and stuff like that, it's really dangerous riding, but I still do ride a lot less than I used to, but I kind of live 10 minutes from downtown Plymouth. I'm sure Cam's familiar with downtown Plymouth. It's a great little area with lots of restaurants and shops and stuff like that. And it's, I only live like one road in. So for me, it's a nice country road in. So that's kind of my bike ride. When I go for a ride, that's it.
That's nice.
So I don't have to worry about changing lanes and potholes and all that stuff.
No, but you got to be careful, man. You can't be texting and stuff like that when you're on the bike.
Andy, he knows.
And listen, I drove a hot rod myself, so we can relate. I had a '72 Mustang back in the day, back when I was in high school. And it was like, whatever, like almost 30 years old.
What kind of engine, Andy? Go ahead. What kind of engine was it?
It was a 351 Cleveland, I think, or a Windsor. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm talking about.
Windsor Spitfire?
Is it a 151 or a 351? Come on.
Yeah, those are nice.
Yeah, you know. All right, so listen, let's go back. Like the hockey thing, because first of all, let me just say this. Like I told a number of people that we were having you on, and they're like, damn, Iafrate. Like, I haven't heard that name in forever. Like, what have you been doing?
No shit.
Like, I know you were doing the stick thing. Like I said, I saw you at the rink several years ago. Are you still doing that? Like, are you involved in the game of hockey at all? Like, what's up? What are you doing?
No, I mean, I do a lot of charity stuff. I do a lot of, like pro-am type things, golf. Whenever I get asked to do those things, I always do them, because you get to run into guys that you played with, you were teammates with, and then you get to meet guys, whether they were from your era or, an era that just finished and they just finished playing, and they're kind of getting into that. But no, I don't do the stick thing. I got my real estate license. I've been doing real estate since 2014.
Oh, nice.
I was doing the stick thing at Warrior until 2011, I believe, and then 2010 or 11, and then did another stick thing called Base. And prior to Warrior, I had my own stick thing called Black Beauty, which was 100% for young kids, developmental, lie-specific sticks, flex, all sticks designed for, a kid that can use a stick that he's not going to be fighting. It's like, even today, I still feel the whole stick industry is kind of, a little bit slow in what kids need to learn to shoot a puck. Because I don't know, I look at shooting in a lot different way than most people, and I guess because that was the reason I stayed in the league, even when because my whole game, everyone knows me for my shot, but my whole game was skating, shooting, and hitting.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Not fighting, hitting, like playing a solid, hard defensive game where there's a lot of body contact. And, when my body couldn't do the speed anymore, because that was a big part of me being able to get time for the shot, I stayed in the league for, my last 3 years just because of the shot. So it's, there's not a lot of things where you're a one-dimensional player that you can stay in the league with. And, I'm sure it's different now in this era, but
Well, Cam was one dimensional.
Well,
I
hey,
mean,
give one of those rookie sticks to Andy so he could actually shoot a fucking alumni.
Can I ask you, because like I got to ask you about the whole flex thing, because it's all confusing to me. I don't know what kind of stick that I need. Like, what kind of stick should I be using?
A child stick.
So, like a kid who's like really getting into it, they're starting to take some slap shots and really being able to start to pound it a little bit. Like, how do you know? Like, where should they be? Like, I don't think kids have any idea. I think they look at the graphics. They look at maybe if there's an NHL name on it. They look at the curve. But the flex, I think, is still, even though it's been around for a long time, I think in terms of kids truly understanding what fits them best is still relatively foreign.
Yeah, it's definitely that's basically what we did. We spent, I spent the first 2 years of being in the stick industry just trying to educate the whole hockey world on the importance of it. A stick is like, and you're totally right when you say that the marketing aspect with the graphic package and, the name associated with the curve, the Crosby curve, the Melkin curve, the Jansen curve, whatever.
That's a straight blade. That's a straight blade.
They use that huge as marketing, whatever company the premier athlete in whatever town is using, it's a big part of the marketing of each company. They want guys that have lots of visibility, and those guys that use their stick, they're using that for marketing to, influx the whole youth hockey in that area, whether it's Toronto, St. Louis, Chicago. They want a premier guy from whatever city they're in using that stick, and then they're selling that curve. And it's pretty interesting that, you can have a Crosby curve from Reebok and a Draper curve from Warrior, and it's the same curve.
Let me ask you this. What curve did you use in your heyday when you hit that 105 miles an hour, baby? And if you did use a stick in today's age, how hard would you have shot that, dude?
Well, I think the record's 108, so I probably would have shot 110.
That was that kid from the American League, wasn't it? It was that kid. His last name's Fast or something.
Yeah, but and Chara's been up. Chara's been up there, 108, 109, somewhere.
No, he's 106.
Hasn't he gotten to 108?
No. It was a kid from the American League got 108. I'll correct you, Andy. You're okay. You could go on your phone. Am I wrong on that, Al?
Yeah, I think there was. I'm pretty sure there was like some dude in the KHL that blasted 109, and then there was an American League guy, and I think they count the record. It's, the record is the record when the lights are on at the All-Star NHL All-Star game.
Yeah,
that's where they count.
Yeah, Chara's been a 108.8. I know what Cam's talking about because there was an American League guy who may have even shot it harder than that, but he shot it at 108.8.
Yeah.
So I mean,
there was one, and there was a KHL guy too, and I've shot over 105, but it wasn't at the All-Star game. Back in the day, in the early 90s, they had a thing. I think they still do. I don't know if they do it now, but they did it for a while where each team would have their own individual skills contest.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Whether
the
that
super
was
skills. They call it the super skills. Yeah, like every team would do it.
Because back in the early 90s, for a year or two, they had guys, normally there's the 60 guys that go to the All-Star game, but in the early days of the whole skills contest, they had like a qualifying for everybody got to do the fastest skater, hardest shot, breakaway, the goaltending, shootout relay, all that stuff. And they took the top times. So there was guys that weren't on the All-Star team that were there because they qualified. So in a sense, you were truly getting the hardest shooters and fastest skaters. Because, now you look at some of the contests and it's like, okay, the coach and GM of that All-Star team picked that guy to be in the fastest skater, and it fucking takes the guy 20 seconds to get around the ice, and the fast guys are doing it in 14 or 13, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, And then there's other guys that you're thinking in your mind, you're like, well, this guy's faster than that guy. Why is he in the fastest skater?
Okay.
But a lot of that is, popularity or, what they want to give the fans, whether they want this guy in it or not. And I'm not going to name any names of guys that have been in the hardest shot or fastest skater, but I've watched every All-Star game, and there's always guys sitting there watching that are everyone knows are faster or shoot harder than the guys that are in the contest. You know what I mean?
That was my problem.
Oh yeah, you know what? Because it's funny because like back in '93, like I rewatched the competition, and there were like 60 guys on the ice. I mean, I couldn't believe how many guys were on the ice. Like Zarly Zalapsky, Jeff Sanderson was in the competition. You had
With a G.
Stefan Quintal was in the hardest shot competition. You had Brett Hedican, who was there probably for the fastest skater. So you're right. So let me ask you this though: would you use the same stick in the competition that you would use in a regular season game? And how much did it mean to you, like, to win this? Like, would you get up for it? I mean, you knew you'd be going toe-to-toe with guys like Al McInnes and some of these guys. How important was it that you went to the All-Star game and you showed up and you won the competition?
I figured it's kind of like now. Back then was like now. Like now, it's like you want to see Weber against Chara because that's going to be close.
Oh, yeah.
And no one else is close. Back when I was doing it, it was the same thing. It was me and Al. It was the Al show, Al and Al. You know what I mean? And if I wasn't at the All-Star game, Al would always win it. If Al wasn't at the All-Star game, I would always win it. And then when we were both at the All-Star game, it was awesome because you knew it was going to be a battle, right? You knew it was going to come down to, who got the shot off. But back to answer your question, I used two different sticks pretty much my whole career. I had a stick I used for power play, and then the regular shifts and penalty killing, I had another stick. But my power play stick was a heel curve, man, like leverage.
Yeah.
Just to blast one-timers. And with that, it would be with that stick, it was just way too much thinking and work to try and, backhand a puck off the glass hard, killing a penalty. So
the Cam and Strick Podcast is brought to you by CarShield. Nothing more frustrating, Cam, than when that engine light comes on and right off the bat, you're going to have to spend thousands of dollars to repair your vehicle. Call 800-857-2481. Mention the promo code CAM or visit carshield.com and use the code CAM to save 10%. Yeah. That's carshield.com. A deductible may apply. Save yourself money. Sign up and get your coverage now with carshield.com. Now back to the interview. What about from a marketing standpoint, though? Because, back in the day, if it was Jordan in the slam dunk contest, Larry Bird in the three-point contest, that's kind of how it was with you and Al, like in the hardest shot contest. Like, people tuned into the skills competition to see Mike Gartner skate or to see you shoot or Al McInnes skate or shoot the puck. So what did it do from a marketing standpoint for you? Did you make money? Were you able to capitalize off of your popularity from shooting the puck hard?
Yeah, I mean, you get the different endorsement deals and stuff like that, but the money we're talking then compared to the money we're talking now, I was probably getting paid what they pay a fourth line guy in Toronto to use a stick now. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Which is what?
Marketing.
500 grand.
Oh, what's that?
500 grand for that.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah.
It's probably like 25 grand.
Yeah, just from okay, so all right, let me ask you this.
Toronto's probably 500 grand.
Well, no, not he's talking. Well, yeah, from
Andy, I'm making a joke.
Stick deal. So you start working for Warrior. They had all these different names. They're trying to appeal to the kids. They had the Chronic and all this type of stuff. Yep. Did you enjoy that aspect? How much did you like working for stick companies, traveling around team to team, interacting with the guys, and just being a rep? Was that something you enjoyed, or didn't really like it all that much?
Kirky?
I kind of enjoyed it. It was I enjoyed it because me personally, I was there. I was looking at it. I mean, if you just break down the way the money is now, like basically, it's you're going to make $100,000 a year more per goal, and you multiply that times 3 or 4 years. You know, so if you score 20 more goals in a 4 or 5 year, you know, time span of a contract, or trying to attain that contract, if you score 12, like the difference between scoring 10 and 15 goals for a forward for a contract in the NHL right now is huge.
Oh yeah.
You know, it's $100,000 minimum a goal per season. So you do the math. You know, you score 4 or 5 more goals a year times 4 or 5 years. It's a couple $1 million. And you know, I was all about trying to get a stick into a guy's hands that was going to help him be a more valuable asset. And if he's a more valuable asset to his team, that team's going to be better. And then, you know, if the team's better, he's going to make more money because of that, and so on and so forth. And, you know, just looking at ownership, if I was an owner, I would encourage guys to be educated, and, you know, because you know how the NHL locker rooms are. You know, a rep walks in there, depends on what team you're visiting. You know, sometimes you're not feeling very welcome because, you know, the coaches don't want guys around the day of games, you know, or it's the practice after someone gets, you know, your team gets dummied, and
Yeah.
you know, there's guys looking for new sticks, and you happen to be the guy that shows up, you know. And it's for me, if I was an owner, I would encourage that, because if these guys are truly trying to help the players, which that was my intention all along, you know, was I think this guy is a great player. I think he would do better, you know, watching him play with a better stick in his hands, because, you know, at the end of the day, you know, a 12-year-old kid, and unfortunately, I think a lot of it happens in all sports, where kids that are 10 years old are fucking being pinholed and pigeonholed into, this is the type of player you are, when they're 12. Like, I believe that the sky should be the limit, and I'm going to look through rose-colored glasses as the coach or teacher of this guy, and I think this guy can be everything he wants to be. And, you know, maybe when you do get to the NHL and you're 24, whatever path you got there with, or you're 20 or 19 or whatever, I can see where, okay, they're pushing you in this direction because this is the type of player you're going to be, and that's how you fit into the concept of that team. But when you're 12 years old, the sky should be the limit for everybody.
Well, here's the bitch of it, Al. When I was 12, I was a goal scorer, but then when I was like 14, I wasn't. So I went the opposite direction. So I don't know if this falls true. No, but you're 100% right on that, man. And when guys, they don't know where they're at when they're 12 years old. But let me ask you this. So, like, when you walk into a locker room, though, and you feel that pressure from, like, the GM or the ownership, and you're like, God damn it, I played a ton in the show. I have the hardest shot. Like, why are you treating me like this? Like, can't I just bring these sticks in and help these guys out? Although they might have lost that night. Like, did you feel any weird pressure like that when you walked in?
Like as a player or as a rep?
As a rep, grinding already, and you go in there and, like, maybe they lost by 6, but you're like, no, I want to help these fucking kids out. Did they still give you that weird vibe?
Yeah, I mean, some did. I won't say any names, but I mean, it's and I think just as an ex-player, you kind of know the sentiment of the way things are after a big loss. So it's more of a somber thing where, you know, you're trying not to be the happiest guy in the room. You know, you're trying to be understanding of the situation. Mm-hmm. But I think, you know, every team has a strength coach. Every team has a, you know, they have power play specialist guys now, whether it's, you know, whether it's a guy that's a current assistant coach or a guy that, you know, was great on the power play that they bring in, like, you know, Adam Oates or whoever. But I think every team should have a guy for helping guys, you know, become the best shooter, passer they can be, because if everyone on a team improves as a shooter, you know, whether it's, you know, 2 days a week or whatever, or 2 hours a week, that little bit can help. Because, like, you look at the NFL, there's an outside linebacker coach, an inside linebacker coach, a middle linebacker coach.
Fuck.
And then there's a right outside linebacker coach. You know what I'm saying? There's a coach
Special
for
teams.
very. It's very specific, and I believe the product of hockey. I don't know if it's going to happen in my lifetime, but it's going to happen. That is going to happen, and I think it's the difference between winning and losing, or making the playoffs, which is money for everybody, and, you know, grows the fan base and everything.
You're right about that, because so many of these kids, they grow up their whole life, Al, and they've got the skills coach, they got the skating coach, they've got a conditioning coach. All of a sudden they get to the NHL, and then now they don't have a skills coach. They don't have a conditioning coach. Well, they got the conditioning, but you know what I'm saying?
Figure it out.
Yeah, you know, all of a sudden that gets taken away from them.
I actually have my own shrink for a stint there in Washington.
Really? Well, like a sports psychologist?
He or she?
I think this guy was more like a psychiatrist. I was out of my mind when I got traded there. And David, he was unbelievable to me. He's like, we traded for you. We want you here. You're going through a tough time. You know, this guy traveled with us for a while there. And it was pretty classy what he did for somebody that was going through what I was going through.
All right,
I just wanted to throw that in there.
What were you?
Everyone else had their own skills coach. I had a shrink.
Yeah, okay.
I should have had one too.
Skills coach, power skating coach is what I was getting at. You know, all these kids have them growing up. Might as well have them in the NHL too. So you said you were going through a hard time. So help us understand, what were you going through? What was going on with you personally?
Oh, geez, it was. I had just, you know, you get drafted. You're coming off of first couple years. You know, you're 18. You're learning the game. Then you turn into an all-star. And then, you know, one hit, I shredded my knee, man. I tore my ACL, my MCL, dislocated the head of my fibula, like subluxed it, cracked my ankle. Like it was a bad injury, you know.
Ugh.
And back then they were just starting the whole ACL thing where you weren't going to be out for a year. You know, and I was lucky. I had a great doctor. I went to Health South, Dr. Clancy, legendary guy in Birmingham, Alabama at Health South, where he did a lot of the knee stuff, and Andrews does all the shoulders. And
got mine done by him.
Elbows, you know, for the
baseball guys.
Yep.
For the
Tommy
athletes.
John, baby.
Yeah. You know, and that happened, and I was trying to get back, and, you know, that happened at I think it was the second to last game of the year, the injury. And then I got a staph infection from the surgery. So then a month after the or 2 months after or a month or and a half after the surgery, I had to have another surgery because, you know, you went from being one of the fastest guys in the world and the hardest shooter and an all-star to, you know, a doctor saying, well, these infections, you know, hopefully gets better, but, you know, your knee might be locked like this and you might have like a locked leg.
Jesus.
And I was like, you know, so you go from that to that, and then trying to get back and everything you go through with that. Then finally you get back into the lineup and you're trying to do the things that you only know how to do, and you can't do them because your knee's just not ready, but you're back playing because you want to contribute. And it's good enough to play on. It's not going to make it worse, but probably needs a little more time. But that's just not the way it is when you're a pro athlete. You're not, you're going to get back and play because that's what got you to where you were in the first place, because you're going to want to play, because you want to be part of the team with the guys and all that. And then all of a sudden you can't do what you used to do. Then you get traded and you get to a new team and, just everything, going through a divorce, all that stuff. It was
divorce too, Al, during that whole shit. Like what would happen there? Were you just moody as fuck, or would you marry her at a young age? Like how'd that go down?
Oh yeah, that was a high school sweetheart thing. Yeah, for sure. Just young kids, just, nothing, no animosity about it. I see her, she lives here. I run into her maybe once a year and just laugh,
You just laugh at her?
No, we just laugh about it,
Okay. Mm-hmm. I got you.
Yeah, that makes sense.
At her. No, just laugh about it. Nothing,
Yeah.
At the time it was brutal, but, it's life.
No, exactly.
That's the first thing I got. That's one of the worst things I ever got to go through in my whole life. That's okay.
Yeah,
Damn right,
all right, so take us back, though, the 84 draft, because Mario Lemieux, he's taken first overall. And you just look at some of these names in that draft. I mean, everybody, it seemed like, went on to have, not everybody, but most of the players had long careers. Kirk Muller, I think, was taken number 2. But you go number 4 to the Maple Leafs. Like, did you know what you were walking into in terms of the history, the hockey hotbed that was Toronto, and were you ready for it?
Oh, hell no, I didn't know what I was walking to, and no, I was not ready for it. It was, because Detroit Detroit's a great sports town. It's the self-proclaimed hockey town, but Toronto's a whole different deal, man. That's the hockey mecca of the world.
Yep.
And there's nothing like it. I think every guy should embrace it, man. Like, just because of just what's there for you after. If you're a Toronto Maple Leaf and you're a player there was a player that, played 5, 6, 10 years, like, you're part of a brotherhood, and, it's a pretty neat thing. And, I was lucky. I played for Toronto and Boston, 2 of the original 6 teams, and 2 unbelievable sports teams. And I honestly did not know what I was walking into, because this is no word of a lie. Like, going back to drafts and agents and all that, a year before the draft, the summer of '83, I tried out for the Olympic team, being a midget major, and made the cut to go to Colorado Springs, made that cut to like a 30-man roster, and then made another cut. So I went from, like, I don't know, being a 11th grader, doing the dumb stuff an 11th grader does in the summer, to you're on the U.S. national team, and you're going to travel all over the world and play, Team Russia, Team Czechoslovakia, Team Finland, Team Canada, and skip your senior year of high school. And so that summer, Ricky Curran and Bill Waters, they were Bernata Sports. I think Ricky is part of the Orr group, and now, but he's like, you're going to be a first-round draft pick. And my dad looked at me, and he's like, wow, you must be pretty good.
he
did not watch you when you were a kid?
He didn't know?
What? Yeah.
He didn't watch me play till I was a midget minor.
Why?
Because my parents are Italian, and they had to work, man.
Yeah.
They worked.
I get
my
you.
mom worked, my dad worked. I'd get rides with other families. My mom was like the ultimate hockey mom. She worked for Pete Carmanos and Jimmy Rutherford for decades at Compuler.
We had him on.
He just, he had other things he had to provide, right? So
yeah.
Well, you provide food for your ass.
Yeah, I went from, being a midget hockey player to all of a sudden I'm on a national team, traveling around the world and going to the Olympics. And, when I got drafted, there was, so I'd like, just to go back a little bit, circle back, there wasn't agents around when you were 12, 13, or 12. It was like if you were going to get drafted, an agent called you when you were 17. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
A lot different than now. But, that draft, Gary Roberts, Patrick Waugh, Luke Robitaille, Eddie Olczyk, the list goes on and on. Shane Corson, Mario, and all those guys. And, I had played against Shane a lot because the Silver Sticks were always, CompuWare and Barry for the International Silver Stick. And so I knew who he was, but Mario, you just knew that this guy was unbelievable. And all the other guys in the draft, I really didn't know, who they were because, there was no YouTube or any of that stuff going on. It was just what scouts were telling you, right?
Yeah, no doubt.
Just my draft was in Montreal, and I had no idea where I was getting drafted. Like, not even when I got drafted. Like, the moment I got drafted, I was like, oh, that's where I'm going. But I knew I was going to be in the top 10. But, like you said, Toronto, and then I got there, and I was like, wow, this is hockey. And if you're a hockey player, oh, I know, yeah. Oh, I've been at the gas station pumping gas a few times in Toronto when I was playing. People yelling, "That's what you should be doing for a living. You're horrible!" Yelling at you. I've lived through all that stuff.
Time to talk a little bit about Daredevil hockey, the ultimate in performance plus protection. Daredevil is a lightweight compression-based layer designed with Kevlar cut-resistant fabric overlays that protects all the vulnerable areas of the upper and lower body from skate lacerations. Get yours now. www.daredevilhockey.com. Use that promo code Cam and Strick. You'll save 25%. Now back to the interview.
Let's go.
Hey, what about that nasty ass car accident you got into, man? Like, fuck. Isn't that horrible? Isn't it the scariest thing when, I don't know what happened in that situation, but we've all been in cars with guys, and I had to pull people over a couple times. Andy, I told you this before, where the guy's like, look at my new fucking car, and they drive 100 miles an hour. You're like, stop the goddamn car and let me out. I'm getting out of here. Like, explain that car wreck. I don't know if that was the same situation, but it was pretty hardcore, wasn't it?
Oh, man, that was... that was crazy because I hadn't even, that was like, I don't know, weeks, maybe a month after the draft.
Ugh.
And so I hadn't even skated or done anything. All I had ever done was put a jersey on and taken some pictures, you know what I mean? And was back home, and the Belleville Bulls were having a team picnic, which was, when the Olympics finished in '84, I was their property. They had drafted me in the O, and it was looking like, since I was a first-round pick, I committed to Michigan State because that's where I wanted to go and play hockey because they were kind of a powerhouse then. And it looked like I was going to be fast-tracked to the NHL, so I opted out of the NCAA thing. And right after the Olympics, I went to Belleville and finished the season, played in the playoffs. So that summer, I would be going to their camp before the Leaf camp, even though I was drafted by the Leafs. I was going to be going to that camp first. So every summer they would have a team picnic, and for some reason, we left the morning of the picnic. So we got up at like 5 a.m, and the picnic was starting at like noon or something. And it's a 6-hour drive to the picnic to Belleville from Plymouth, or I lived in Livonia then. So it's 6 hours, it's like 400 plus miles. And we we tried to do it in the same day, and I fell asleep driving home. So we drove, got up at 5, drove from 6 till noon, went to the team picnic / party, and then at like 10 o'clock or 9 o'clock at night, started driving home, and I was driving, and I just fell asleep. Flipped the car. Mike Vellucci was my teammate. He was with me. He hurt his back really bad. Had to have back surgery. And, that was a traumatic time, mentally. I got a big, huge, all I did was crush my chest in a little bit with the steering wheel, and my head smashed into the windshield, and when it did, it ripped off the mirror, and that whatever the mirror is attached to just gouged the side of my face and the head.
So you were driving,
but,
So you were just driving.
We were lucky. It was like a young decision to try and drive home.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you guys all made out of it okay, and that you survived and were able to make a full recovery and everything. So, like, when you're in Toronto, though, like, you're playing there, describe the experience, like, because, you get a lot of accolades, you get a lot of attention, you had some great years there, and obviously, became Al Iafrate, the all-star, the big, bomb defenseman as a Toronto Maple Leaf. So describe that experience. How do you look back on it?
Oh, looking back on it, I wish I would have. I don't know if I should. Well, I got to say it. I wish I would have played another year, either in the minors or in junior, because I basically went from midget to a limited role on an Olympic team, where I was the number 6D or 5D, and I was 17 playing in the Olympics, against Lariana, Fedosov, Krutov, Kastatana, all those guys in their heyday, you know what I mean? And I was green, right? I was learning on the job, because I was used to just, I'm going to just rush. I'm going to, go end to end right now. That's what I feel like doing. You get the puck and do it. And then, you go to the next level and you think you're going to do that, but now there's guys that are stronger than you, just as fast as you, gambling on D in the offensive zone. Oh, that guy's got 10 feet on me. I'm going to catch him, no problem. All of a sudden, it's a 30-year-old guy that's a fast skater that if he gets 5 feet on you, you ain't catching him in the next 100 feet. You know what I mean? So just learning all that stuff, and then right to the NHL, and it was the same thing. So there was growing pains and learning, and looking back at it, I wish I would have been a little more, mature mentally, because I was kind of like a freak of nature. I was 6'3", 220 pounds, fast, shoot hard, all that stuff. But mentally, I didn't really understand the game, because I was always kind of able to do whatever I wanted up until that point. And now, just learning that, and rather being defensive or having a bad attitude about it, realizing that, hey, these guys aren't on me because they don't like me. They're on me because they think I can be great. Mm-hmm. And just having the mental capacity to differentiate that, I wasn't ready mentally. I was kind of I was kind of being a baby about it.
Just being.
Well, you were a freak of nature.
I'm sure that still happens today.
Oh yeah,
I deal with it every day, Al. Don't worry about it.
So listen, so Gary Lehman, he's a guy who obviously you played with there in Toronto, but the word is you guys didn't get along, and that led to you essentially leaving Toronto. Like, what's the backstory there?
Yeah, dude, what'd he do to you?
Yeah, there was a rumor that him and my wife were messing around. Whether they were or not, I really am not sure, and I don't believe they were. But after the fact, they got together. So who knows? But I see Gary all the time. He's an ex-Leaf. I'm an ex-Leaf. I see him all the time. It's everything's fine. There was never that was more media blown than that was kind of made a bigger issue than it really was by the media. And it wouldn't go away, and it wouldn't go away, and it wouldn't go away. And there was a coaching change, and I was basically like, all right, man, I want out of here because I do not like the path this team is going on. And, I think I've paid my dues.
So he ended up being with your wife, though? So it was a rumor, but then he ended up being with her after that? Like, are they together today?
No.
So they never hooked up? Because you said that they met up afterwards, so.
Yeah, during, I don't know. I mean, because there was rumors I came home and there, I saw it, or, that none of that ever happened. It was just, who knows? If it's kind of like the whole thing. If I keep telling myself I'm going to be a fast skater and shoot hard, I can manifest that, right? My thoughts become things, and I can turn that into reality.
Right.
So who knows if, because of everything that was going on, it was like, well, you're single now, I'm single. So who knows what really went on? I'll never know. I don't know. If I did know, I would tell you.
Did you ask him?
Wait. So let me get this straight. Is it the same girl? Okay, the young girl you guys met in high school.
The girl who you run into once a year now.
The one that you laugh at once a year when you run into each other because you
No,
laugh
I
at the
don't.
situation.
I laugh with.
We laugh at the situation. I didn't explain it right. My bad. You laugh at the situation, and I completely understand that. So you guys are a young couple, and you're playing, and all of a sudden, like, is she not giving you attention? And all of a sudden, like, she hangs, like, is she hanging with him? Is she texting? Like, if she's not doing that, are they calling? Like, how?
There was no texting or cell phone.
I know.
Sex
Okay, fine.
Come on, Cam.
But Andy, shut the fuck up. I'm curious. So how did this come about? Like, we've seen this story a million times throughout the, in any organization and locker room. But were you like, would you ever twiddle your thumbs and say, I think something's going on? And then how'd the rumors come about?
Oh, hell yeah. I was like, fuck yeah. You start, I was like, man, is this true? Because it was like a bombshell to me. All of a sudden I was like, what? You know what I mean?
Yeah, no shit.
And then, then the whole, you start questioning someone, and then all of a sudden, now you're starting to chip away at an oak tree. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So this was in the papers. Did it leak into the media?
Fuck.
Oh, yeah. It was everywhere.
Okay.
Oh.
I got you.
How did you wake up in the morning and see the paper and you're like, oh, God, did your heart just sink? And you're like, what? Did you ever like confront her and be like, is this going on? Like, were you living together? Like, was it bizarre as fuck?
I mean, while we were together, I confronted, but then it was like, then it was insulting, you know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
whatever there was, I guess I'll never know. And it's in the past, but going through it at the time, you're 24 years old or 23. And it's definitely hard, man. And then, well, you guys know, man, then you're on the ice and guys on other teams saying shit to you.
Oh my God. What would they say to you, Al? Were you like, I'm going to fucking smack you in the back of your head?
Yeah, you had 1,300 pims,
like,
so you could defend yourself, Al.
You want me to take a slap shot in your fucking head? Did you tell people that?
Well, I would either say that, I would be like, I'm going to break the top of your foot, man. Or I would say, I'm going to get the puck when you come to forecheck me, and I'm going to go end to end, and your fucking knees are going to be knocking behind me trying to catch me, and you have no chance. So shut the fuck up.
Oh, there you go. That's what I'm talking about. Hey, where were you?
We do it with Andy every day.
Hey, where were you when you had the salary issue?
Yes.
Like, where you went to court or whatever
Yes.
to try to were you trying to recover money? Were you trying to get more money? Like, what happened there?
That was a whole. Well, I'm just going to say this. It was a precedent-setting case. So I think every guy, past and present in the NHL, should send me a bottle of wine, like 97 Insignia or something like that.
Hey, they're going to, Al. Don't threaten them because they're going to.
When we do something on this podcast, it happens.
That was definitely a precedent-setting case. Bob Goodenow was the player, the
Player
head of the
Association.
NHLPA. Yeah. Ian Pulver, J.P. Berry, Bob Riley, a local guy in Detroit who's a labor negotiation lawyer, a work lawyer. They were for me, and Harry Sinden in Boston were saying that it was a whole other thing. I hurt my knee right before the end of the season, and I kept playing on my knee. I should have not played, but I just kept playing and playing and playing. And I had this. There's this part of your knee called the trochlea and the medial condyle, which the trochlea is basically the end of your femur, down at your knee, and it's kind of, if you look at the indention in between your first and second knuckle, it's kind of a groove like that. And then people don't realize it, but your kneecap is flat on the top that you would kneel on, but on the bottom, it's kind of pyramid shaped. So it's almost like a triangle. And then that area rides in that little groove and all the muscles attached to it. And that's the fulcrum for bending and all the muscles hooked to that and blah, blah, blah. But because of the way I played, how big I was, the different little injuries you play through hurt when you have swelling and all that stuff. Your muscles aren't firing. That whole area where there's articular cartilage was worn out in that trochlea, and there's really nothing they can do. So basically now you have a kneecap that when you bend your knee and put pressure on it, it's like a knife stabbing you right under your kneecap.
Oh,
like every time you'd bend or go to stride, and then the swelling is feels like the skin's it feels like your knee is going to pop, like a zit. It's like pressure, man, because there's so much swelling in there because you got something rubbing on the nerves. You're down to the nerves, the bone. There's no more, the rubbery stuff at the end of a chicken bone is your articular cartilage. That's gone. It's worn through down to the bone, and that's where all your nerve endings are. And it would be basically like if you had a cavity and someone was taking a pin and sticking it right in that cavity every time you bent your knee.
So why'd you sue?
Anyways, I hurt my knee, and I needed surgery. I finished the year. We lost to Jersey in the semis. Finished the season, had the surgery. Dr. Clancy was like, "Man, if you play again, this is an injury that basketball players where you got to plant and pivot, or running backs in the NFL, they're not coming back from it." He's like, "But since hockey's more of a glide, we're going to do this procedure where, we microfracture it, drill some holes, take a notch of that stuff with like a hole saw that's kind of a millimeter smaller, pressure fitted in there with the new surface, and hopefully it takes. It's like a bone graft." And he's like, "You're not playing for 6 months." So I go to training camp. Harry was like, "You got to go on the ice," and I went and used my own doctor, and he was pissed about that right off the bat.
Yeah, of course they are.
So, Clancy's I'm telling him he can't play. Their doctor's saying you can play. It's training camp. They're like, "You got to do a physical, and you got to do an on-ice test and all this stuff." I'm like, "I ain't skating. I can't skate." "You're suspended indefinitely." I'm like, "What?" you're suspended indefinitely. And then it turned into, how do we know you hurt your knee playing hockey? I'm like, what?
Oh.
I don't know. I had treatment all day, every day, just to play a couple hours in a game. So I think it's from hockey. Well, how do we know you didn't re-hurt it and you're not coming back now because, you re-injured and ruined the surgery? Anyways, I went to arbitration, and, obviously the arbitrator found that, it's definitely from playing hockey. But the whole thing it was like a smoking gun. It was like, that was kind of a big deal for the PA, because now, if you're a guy that's training and you injured yourself training, are you playing hockey, or did you do it training and exercise that we said you should do? Or, it was almost like going to open a big can of worms, but it was good that I won that case because it kind of squashed any of that. And basically, they were trying to not pay me because I couldn't play.
So you got your money back?
Because they said you lost in that fucking court.
But you got your money. Yeah, so you got.
They said you lost.
But so you won the case.
No, I won the case.
Yeah, and you got your money back. That's what I'm talking about.
Good, because it said you fucking lost.
Yeah,
on Wikipedia.
so I wasn't
like,
here.
Fuck this
I wasn't
shit.
gonna have that.
I'll smack cats around.
That's
Al.
right. Time to talk about our boy Dan Bellman. Ooh. Bellman.com. That's with two N's, not one. BEHLMANN.com. Hey, check out the new inventory. Check out the pre-owned vehicles. You looking for a Chrysler, a Dodge, a Jeep, or Ram? How about a Cadillac or a Buick GMC? All in Troy, Missouri. Get your new wheels in time for the winter. Now back to the interview. Legend has it, you used to like to hang out in the hallway and fix your sticks, smoke some cigarettes, use the blowtorch that you would use to work on your stick, and you would use that to smoke your cigarettes.
Goddamn
So
right.
a lot of guys smoked darts back then, man. Like, were you smoking your entire career? Like, how much were you smoking during the course of the season?
Smoking.
Oh, I'm not proud of it, but I smoked a lot. I smoked packs a day.
Still?
No.
I was going to say, start chewing like I do.
Why would I smoke now? I only smoked while I was an athlete. Come on.
When there's pressure left and right, you
Hey,
fucking
but there's
smoke.
stories about this, like Dennis Savard, like even Mary
Dude, that
Lemieux,
was
like,
old
a
school
bunch of guys were like
motherfucker.
smoking cigarettes. Yeah. So like, would the whole
I
room
love it.
like light up between periods? Were you the only one?
Yeah. There'd be the odd guy that when we were out, on the road, because in the early days of my career, we flew commercials. So, like, you were a band of brothers, man. Like, you went into a town, you went to dinner, you'd be there sometimes 2 days before the game. So you'd go out, light it up.
Oh, yeah.
Next day, practice, go out again, have dinner, do whatever, then play the game 2 days later, and then on to the next town with a couple days in between, depending on your schedule. And, there'd be guys that when you were out, partying would have a dart or two.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did that too, Al. I smoking darts when I get drunk too.
But you're smoking packs a day, and you like to do it like with no clothes on, right? Is that true?
Because
like,
that's hot.
While you were naked, and I was reading the story how a security guard would tell you, hey, like. You might want to. She wouldn't complain about you being naked, Al. She would just say you can't smoke.
That means
underneath.
he's hung like a fucking horse.
That's funny.
You're hung like a horse. It's all good.
That was in Dallas. Like this person was like, they were like in disbelief. They're like, "What is this idiot doing?" But I would make sure I was away from everybody. The guys or the locker room, just so. I'd go to some weird area of the arena underbelly and be under the bleachers or whatever with a chair. And, and all of a sudden, the security guard turns the corner and she's like, she didn't say anything about me being naked, right? She just said, "You can't smoke in here." I'm like, what? Like, it was just kind of funny because I didn't think anyone was, because you had to like go past our locker room and there was nothing that anyone would need to see from our locker room down to the bleachers. There was it wasn't like there was a door they had to go into to do any part of their maintenance or security job. It was just, the only thing I could think of is someone must have smelled fire, right, or smoke. So
they smelled your crotch because you had no clothes on. That's why she came.
Hey, because they said you used to ride the bike naked. I don't know, like some people. I didn't know, like
He's a pimp.
like hedoism or something like that.
No, but I mean, I used to.
Get out of here, Andy.
I used to like gear down in between periods because, I played a lot and everything was soaked. So
I got you.
You played 30 minutes a night. Shit. If I went out there naked, they'd be like, what are you doing? You only played 3 minutes. You're not even fucking wet. Put your fucking clothes back on, loser. And I'm not hung like you, by the way. How are your injuries, man? You all good? You had some nasty fucking injuries, dude. Let me ask you this, too. Are you good to go? Did you save your money? Can you chill right now down in Florida? I don't know if you didn't talk about a boat yet, because I need you to get a center console, by the way. We have all our guests. We all want them to have good boats because Andy and I can come and visit you. But are you good to go? I know you're working right now, but did you save enough money?
Yeah, I'm good to go.
Good.
Yep. Yeah.
So you can get that center console? No. Is that what you're saying?
I actually kind of, I don't know, my little. I don't want to. I mean, center consoles are cool. I had a nice one. I had a 23-foot Mako, which is kind of like a whaler or, whatever center console.
Oh, yeah.
They're all kind of the same.
Shut up, Andy.
But Mako's one of the brands. And I had one of those. I liked it. It was cool, but I kind of want to live on a boat. I don't want to go to Florida to a house.
Yeah, dude.
Really?
No. You want to be on the water.
Al, boats are such a waste of money.
I want to have a boat. I like fish. I like fishing and stuff like that, so I want to have a boat where,
dude.
That's kind of my vision would be to, when I want to go to Florida, just call the marina, put it in the water.
You live in Michigan. Hey, there's spots in Michigan.
Fuck
just
that.
Go up to Traverse City and just
don't go into the Great Lakes, because the Great Lakes have more accidents with boats than any ocean.
Really?
Possibly. Yes, absolutely. Listen to me, and you listen to me good. You go get that center console and you go bounce around down in Exuma and fucking hang out with all that fucking cool people down there and just live your life, man. That's what I want to do. Andy's got to make me more money first.
Hey,
now, do you guys have a center console boat?
Cam doesn't have shit.
Shut the fuck up, Andy. I had a boat. Right when I started making money, the first thing I bought was a jet boat from the river right by my house. And I cruised up and down the river going 70 miles an hour in 6 inches of water because I had a jet console on that bad boy and made of aluminum. So I had that for 10 years. And then I fucking totaled it. And so now I'm going to get another boat. So that's why I want to live through you, vicariously through you and your boats down in Florida.
Yeah, well, I'll let you know when I get the boat.
Yeah.
And I'll let you guys know when I'm going there, and we'll meet up there.
No, we're coming down to hang out.
That's what we want.
Okay, so last thing from me. So everybody knows about your shot. Like, at least, like, you left something in the game that people will always identify Al Iafrate with.
Yep.
Like, they'll never take that away from you. Plus, you're a pretty damn good player, man.
Damn right.
I mean, you played a long time. You had some injuries. But you were a 4 or 5 time All-Star or whatever. You did your thing with the harder shot and all that. Like, how did you develop the shot that, like, when did you know that was going to take you to the NHL?
Next level.
Like, did they tell you that when you were a kid? Like, was that known?
No.
Like, would everybody talk about your shot when you were, like, 12, 13, 14, or no?
No. This is a true story. Like, I mean, I had a good shot, I think, believe it or not, like you said, the shot is synonymous with me, or I'm synonymous with the shot, But I think the thing that I'm proudest of was I was always in the fastest skater too. I never won it. Came in second a bunch of times.
Behind who?
Lost to Gardner, lost to Coffey, and lost to.
How can you do that?
Those guys are slow.
Overrated.
So, yeah, but that was the thing. I worked hard. I worked really hard at that, and that's like what I'm like. That's what I was really. Attributed to hard work, because it was like, if you work hard, you will be rewarded. So that's what really got me into believing, because my speed is, I think, definitely what got me drafted where I got drafted. And then the shot was another whole journey of shooting and hard work and working on it after practice every day. And Ken Reggett, he was drafted, I think, in 82, 2 years before me. And we lived together my first 2 years, my rookie year and my second year. And Ken Reggett, this is no word of a lie. I would line up a bunch of pucks when I was a rookie. This is when I'm first meeting him. This is like, I don't know, a week after training camp starts. So we get to know each other a little bit. Everyone's start busting on each other by then. Start ripping on each other, joking around. So he's like, hold on. He called me Elf. He called me Elfie. Elf. He's like, Elf shooting. He's like, hold on. He'd take his helmet off. He would take his gloves off, or his blocker and his trapper or whatever they was, his catching glove and his blocker. Drop his stick. Put his hands behind his back, and he'd be like, all right, shoot. I'd shoot as hard as I could, and he'd just sit there and kick him out like I was shooting marshmallows at him, right? He's like, hell, Iafrate, first round fucking draft pick, and he can't even shoot.
Oh,
that's a true story. So I wasn't some like freak of nature that just had this rocket of a shot. And from that moment on, I was like, this is bullshit, man. I'm going to shoot a lot harder than this.
yeah. Wow. And I'm going to fucking hurt you.
yeah,
for three.
You want to play this game with me?
Fuck you, Reggett.
You fuck. Oh, shit.
Yeah. So we would I mean, back then it was like in training camp, my first training camp, we would skate from like 7:30 or 8 till 10:30 or 11. Then you would do some off-ice stuff, take a little nap. Then in the afternoon, you'd come back and skate another couple more hours. So, and then after practice, you know, Kenny and I lived together, so he always wanted to take tons of shots. And, you know, I would just shoot pucks on him and shoot pucks and shoot pucks. And it's like we live together. We come to the rink together. You know, he's staying on, I'm staying on.
Let's go.
And,
yeah. Fuck that.
I would just shoot pucks and shoot pucks and shoot pucks.
Hey, it's a good thing you were in Toronto.
Andy, put your goalie gear on right now. I'm going to fucking shoot pucks at you.
Good thing you're in Toronto, where they have endless supply of sticks. I'm sure some other organizations would be like, hey, listen, stop breaking sticks, stop shooting.
Yeah, stop breaking those 3 hour tree trunk sticks.
Can you walk into Toronto right now, walk into a bar, restaurant, and just people recognize you right off the bat? They want to talk hockey with you, take pictures. Do you go back there?
Are you hidden?
Oh, yeah, I'm there. I go there quite a bit because their alumni does, you know, MLSE, along with, you know, the Maple Leaf alumni. They've got a great partnership where, you know, you can be as busy as you want. You can do as much stuff as you want. You know, there's guys there that live there that like Wendell and Dougie and
we had them on.
Those guys, they could probably do 5 things a day. But
fuck.
Ty, for sure.
Domi, those guys.
Yeah, I don't know if I know Ty's got a residence there. I think he spends a lot of time in New York, though.
Yeah, he
does.
Well, he could do shit in New York too.
He's on Instagram.
Yeah,
That's whatever the fuck he wants.
He's doing Instagram stories.
Yeah, but like Tucker and you know those guys, they're like, you know,
clean
those guys. I don't know about now, but you know, up until you know this whole
COVID
pandemic.
Yeah,
you know, it was. If you want to do stuff in Toronto for a week, they'll set it up for you.
All right, let me ask you one last question real quick, because I know we got to let you go, and I'm sorry to cut you off on this because I know you're a busy man. You got to go find that center council and invite us down. Is your slap shot in your prime harder than Al McInnes's? Sorry, Andy, I had to ask this because Chopper's listening right now. We know Chopper's listening to Al Iafrate. We're trying to get Chopper on. Is your slap shot harder than Chopper's? Go ahead.
I love that guy, by the way. And my shot was a harder shot.
Ooh.
But having said that, I believe that he game situation, had the best shot from the point ever.
Explain that.
His shot from the point in a game situation was the deadliest shot there was. If you were in front of the net when that guy was shooting, you were getting out of the way. You know what I mean?
100%.
When I was shooting, I think everyone kind of knew. Every once in a while, I would go top left corner. But my go-to shot was, trying to think, who would it be? Who could I say?
Andy?
As a pitcher in baseball. As a pitcher in baseball, that's just, hey, you're a home run hitter and I'm a fastball pitcher and I'm going to throw this thing by you.
I got you.
That was my shot. My shot was, I was a lefty, so as a lefty, you've got a huge advantage than a righty with a traditional goalie, just because of where the puck's set up.
Yep.
Traditional goalie catches with his left hand, blocks with his right hand, just the angle of the shot. If I'm a lefty shooting on that guy, the puck is going straight. It's not going on an angle across the net, traveling farther. So my shot was, I'm coming down on you, and I've done it on breakaways where I'm just going low blocker.
I've seen
with
it.
a 100-mile-an-hour shot.
Yeah.
And it's like it's going to get by you before you can move. And that was my shot. But Al's shot, he could go all corners, and it was a scary shot because it was 100-plus miles an hour.
Flat-footed.
He'll motherfucking kill you.
Flat-footed, too. He didn't have to be.
I mean, he had a better one-timer. I didn't have a great one-timer. I was a better set shooter. Like
Walk the line.
And I kind of liked to do that because I kind of wanted to. I wanted to move my body a little bit and pull the goalie and get him moving to go back to the low stick. Where Al's shot, I believe, was like the deadliest shot from the blue line ever.
Yeah, I would agree with that. All right.
Last thing for him. He's got to go fucking fish.
I wanted to ask you this. Like, you played on a team in Washington that had 3 defensemen that scored 20-plus, which is pretty crazy.
It's crazy.
I didn't realize Kevin Hatcher, Darian. Kevin Hatcher had
Darian on.
Kevin Hatcher had 227 career goals. I'm like, what? And he was drafted the same year you were. How much fun did you have in Washington, though, man, with Dale Hunter, Craig Berube,
our buddies.
I mean, to go along with Kevin Hatcher and all those guys.
That was a fun team because, you were winning 50 games a year, you know what I mean? And back then they had normal ties and losses. So, you might lose 20 or 24 games, you know what I mean? You were winning a lot.
Yeah.
So, and you were in an area where the travel wasn't crazy because the Patrick division, we would bus sometimes to Pittsburgh, you know what I mean? Or bus to Philly. You take a train to New York. So
Jersey.
It was a fun team because you were, covering a lot of ground where, it wasn't, a quick 1-hour flight. You were like traveling as a team and being together as a team. But it was a fun team. And when you're winning, obviously everything's funner. But Kevin Hatcher, I believe, he's one of the most underrated defensemen there ever was.
Yeah, I had no idea.
His brother fucked him over on that one.
He almost had 700 points.
Oh, shit.
Like, are you kidding me?
That guy was Kevin was bigger than I am. He's probably 6'5", 6. He's not as big as Darian, but Kevin is so underrated because he's one of the best power play defensemen. He was unreal on the power play, and people don't realize when he wanted to fight, that guy could fight. Like, he was a Golden Gloves boxer growing up. He was a boxer. He boxed.
Really?
Was he a cool cat, though? Was he fun? Like, Darian seems like a
Darian's
cool guy.
Fun, man.
Fucking awesome.
He and Chelios and those guys.
Were they fun?
Yeah, Hatchie. Yeah, they're just, I guess he would be more elusive than Darian. You know what I mean? But he's an awesome guy, fun guy. Yeah. For sure.
We're getting him on.
Hey,
we're getting him on. Andy.
Did you party a lot during your career? Like, did you have fun off the ice? You sound like you're a guy who kind of maybe got after it a little bit off the ice. Was that always under control for you or no?
I was a wild man.
It's not about you.
I'm just saying so he doesn't feel uncomfortable. Okay.
Yeah, I've had some fun. I had lots of fun. Yeah, I had too much fun, maybe. For sure.
What stops were like
Yeah,
where maybe it got a little out of control
When
for
was
you?
too much for you?
Was it Boston, San Jose?
Like making a little bit of money. I'm like,
Where
fuck
was
this. My mullet looks good.
Skullet?
I would say, the end in Toronto, and then I guess when you could say it was kind of like where I was in my, where I was in the zone, just playing great on a really good team that unfortunately couldn't beat Pittsburgh, but who could? And, I'd say Washington, from the end of Toronto through Washington, it was lights out. It was fun because Toronto, it was just like, all right, I'm done here, man. I'm just going to have fun now. And I was playing all right, but just couldn't do the things I wanted to do because my knee wasn't ready.
Yeah.
And, so that was kind of me, I was going out a lot, all the time, every day, every night.
Every night. How many tattoos do you have?
Yeah.
Didn't you have like a Indian headdress or something like that? Like back then, guys didn't have
Yeah,
that many tattoos.
No, I was, I've got, like half sleeved arms just down to the elbow and my back. I've got like all endangered species on one side, and then on the other side, it's a crazy horse.
Are you an animal lover? Because first off, get naked and take a picture for us real quick. 'Cause we're gonna put it on social
When you're
media.
on the bike,
But
smoking
No, I
darts.
think the tattoos for me were more of the Indian tattoos, more of like it's a reminder about betrayal and where I am.
I get.
I got a tattoo of Crazy Horse because I believe that this is their land, and I'm just here living on it. It's whose land it started as, and I'm here.
Damn right.
No, I like that. I like that.
I just watched Dancing with Wolves.
Why do they? Go ahead. Sorry.
And the other thing was because he was kind of betrayed by his own people. His, when he was killed, he was basically, some of his followers had become, Americanized, we'll say, and tricked him to come to a place where he was killed, betrayal. And
yeah,
I think it all kind of goes into what I was going through in my life at that time, where kind of a reminder, don't betray people.
Money talks in that environment when the industrial age is coming through, America, and they're trying to expand the railroad.
Okay.
No, Andy, shut the fuck up.
Thinks he's a historian over here.
They're doing a thing in South Dakota with Crazy Horse.
Yes.
They're making a monument out of stone, just like the other monument.
Really?
Yes, they are with Crazy Horse, and they're not done yet.
Hey,
Am I wrong on that, Al?
He hadn't heard that.
Yeah, I've heard of that. I heard.
Sit your fucking ass down, Andy. Fuck's sakes.
It's going to be just like Mount Rushmore. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Rushmore.
Oh,
Exactly.
yeah, I did hear that.
Yeah,
actually.
dude, Crazy Horse. He's a badass.
No,
And
you're
that's in
right.
the fucking Black Hills of
Hey,
South Dakota.
Hey,
homeboy.
Hey, Planet. Listen, they still call you that or no?
No, they call him the Saint
that's
Bernard.
That's another funny story because that all goes back to
Boston.
Yes, that's how I got that nickname because my doctor told me not to skate, so guys were showing up in Boston 2-3 weeks before training camp. The guys that lived there, we had been skating for, the whole month before training camp. And, I was doing my rehab that I was doing for what was done to my knee, but it didn't require me to skate. And I wasn't going to skate because, it was enough to just get through a day without having to take 2 days off because of swelling,
Mm-hmm.
So camp was getting closer and closer and closer. And it was like, I don't know, 2 days before camp opened. And a reporter was like, asked Brian Sutter, "Where's Al Iafrate?" And Brian Sutter's response was, "That fucking guy, who knows? He's on his own planet." And that's how I got the nickname The Planet.
We should have asked Brian that.
We had Brian on.
We had Brian on recently. We should have asked him about that.
Fuck the Planet? That's a badass nickname.
Cam thinks your nickname is St. Bernard. It's not. It's Planet.
Rob Ramage texted me today on my radio show, and he goes, "Make sure you tell Al that I said hi, and he's a St. Bernard."
Yeah,
and I'm
like a big boy.
I'm about to fucking adopt a St. Bernard, so that's why I'm like in cahoots with you so much. Just so you know, we're like brothers now.
Al, I'd like you to time my slap. I'd like you to time my slap shot. By the way,
Andy, shut up. Don't waste his time.
Yeah, Rammer, I love that guy. I love everybody, but Rammer, I love him more than most. He got traded, and you know, I think that he got traded to Toronto, and I think that management was like probably saying to them, you know, we're going to put you with this guy, and why don't you try and kind of get him going in the right direction, because he's a handful. So the first afternoon after pregame meal and pregame nap, I'm ordering like cheesecake, like before we're going to the rink, I'm ordering cheesecake, hamburger, pots of coffee, smoking darts in the room, and this guy's looking at me like, what the hell is wrong with this guy? It's funny. But Rammer, he was a good dude.
Great
yeah,
dude.
Rammer's the best.
He does a lot of work here in St. Louis with like veterans and shit,
yeah.
man.
I thought the last time I ran into Rammer was probably 3 or 4 years ago, and he was like a development guy with Montreal, right?
Yeah, exactly.
He was doing stuff. Yeah, with Berge, Mark
Berge, Big Berge.
Yeah. Now is he working for the Blues now? Or
he's not. He lives here. I still think he's still doing some stuff with the Montreal Canadiens.
He's big with Montreal,
player development stuff.
And
like
he does also give speeches to like military. Dude, he does.
Oh yeah,
he does a lot of shit, man. I'm telling you that right now. He's a great guy. Love him to death.
So listen.
Oh yeah, he's yeah, for sure.
Hey,
Al, you're the man.
We could go on. We'll call you back tomorrow.
Yeah, dude, Al. No, Al,
we'll do another hour.
Get that goddamn boat, okay? Get that fucking thing set up. I'm coming down. Let's go fishing. Let's
Save your
hang out
money.
a little bit.
Save your money.
We got Ed Jovanowski down there. We got
Josie Theodore.
We got God, there's a million guys down there that we just talked to on
bunch of dudes.
Bunch of dudes. You all need to hang out.
I think Malakoff, a bunch of Russians live down there.
Oh, Kasparaitis is down there.
Malakoff,
Kasparaitis,
all the big boys.
Sergey.
Yeah, dude.
Those guys all live.
Sergey who? Sergey who? Fedorov?
Kasparaitis.
Oh,
no.
Casper lives
Darius.
in Miami.
It's Darius. It's Casper the Friendly Ghost who probably elbowed you once in a while. You probably elbowed him back.
Oh man,
that motherfucker.
Oh yeah, he sent me flipping one time. I tried to split the D, and he was waiting for it.
I love it.
Yeah.
Hey, go enjoy yourself, dude. You're a great man. Thank you for coming on. When we tell, it's so funny. Andy and I always like pick out different guys we went on. I mean, we could kind of pick who we want. And Andy brought your name up. I'm like, oh my God. I sent it to all my buddies, and they're like, holy fuck, get this guy on. So, man, people love you, dude. And you were fun watching, and you're a great guy, man. So I'll be down in about 2 weeks. Okay.
I'll be down tomorrow.
Right,
no, Andy, you're not invited.
I'll be down tomorrow. Hey,
Andy's not invited.
I got to get my tattoos first.
See, big boy.
Hey, it's only 43 degrees here, but my pool's open, so you guys can come swimming if you want.
I'm coming to your house. Shit, I don't give a fuck about the ocean.
I'm bringing my bike down.
No, yeah, Andy's his mountain bike. He's gonna be the nerdy guy of the group.
All right, Al.
See you, Big Al.
See you, Planet.
See you, homeboy.
All right, guys. Thanks for having me. I hope it was good. You guys were awesome, and keep up the great work, and best of luck with the podcast.
Thanks, dude. You're the fucking man.
You got
See
it,
you, big boy.
And tell Rammer I said hello.
Oh, we will. See you, big boy.
See you, bud.
Later.
All right, that was Al Iafrate. By the way, Cam, I got to chirp you for one thing during the interview because he says he runs into his ex-wife and they laugh when they see each other, and you kept thinking that he was like laughing at her. He's not laughing at her. They're just like laughing like, can you believe we used to be married? We were young. We were kids. It's funny.
Oh, did I fuck that up?
A little bit. He was like, no, I'm not laughing at her because you kept being like, yeah, you laugh at her. And he's like,
really? Oh. I don't remember. I feel like it's a long time ago.
I don't remember anything. I know.
No, I don't.
What stands out about his life, his career, real quick?
Well, he lives in Florida, like everybody else.
No, he lives in Michigan.
Oh, everybody lives in Florida. What am I talking about? No, he lives in Michigan.
He lives in Plymouth. You act like you know everything about Plymouth too in the interview. He was in Florida. Jesus. He had a vacation.
That's what it is. I knew there was some kind of connection.
You kept being like, yeah, when I was in Windsor, we'd go up to Plymouth. Well, you'd go down to Plymouth.
I'd go down to Plymouth. I don't give a shit. I just don't care. I remember playing in Plymouth, and I'm like, Plymouth kind of sucked because you can't do anything there because you're in the States. And we never had fun in Plymouth. We just played, and that was it. And then when you went to every other town, you're like, we're fucking going out because it was 19 and shit, so you could go in the bars. But when you go to Plymouth, it's like, oh, cool, let's go to Plymouth and do nothing.
I'm just making sure you knew it was in the States. I'm like, mate, is Cam thinking like this is like some town in Ontario?
No, I know my shit when it comes to that kind of stuff because I actually played in that league, Andy. Yeah, so I know where it's at. Like, don't get me wrong.
My biggest regret is I didn't go when they recruited me. That's my
biggest. When you got drafted, I know. Good God, you're like, no, I got drafted by London. I'm like, I don't want to go there because I want to go to Northern Arizona and hang out.
Not a bad choice, actually.
I know. Probably making more money now because of that.
Not a bad choice. Anyway, so we enjoyed Iafrate. Honestly, a legend.
Yeah,
great player.
I know. I like getting these old school
serious injuries, man. And he liked to like hang out naked all the time. Did you have teammates like that who would never put clothes on?
Yeah, I mean, look, I was one of the guys that didn't wear clothes in the room. I don't sleep with clothes on. I'm a naked kind of guy. I always have. And when I was a kid, I never had a shirt on. Maybe because I was jacked since I was 2. But I was the kind of guy in a room that I didn't mind if you were naked. I just didn't like the sloppy guys that like just were sloppy, you know? Like, I don't know. That would drive me fucking berserk when you're sloppy or you stay up all night and talk to your fucking wife on the phone. Like, I talk to my wife for 2. There's like a code, dude. Don't talk to your fucking girlfriend for 20, 30 minutes right next to me. Walk the fuck outside. You want to see the kids or whatever, do what you got to do. But it's just rude when you're in the room and you're always on the fucking phone the whole time. Don't fucking do that.
Yeah. I hear that.
Yeah, I got a lot more pet peeves of mine.
All right, we'll get into those next time. One pet peeve you don't have is your membership to CarShield, man. That'll save you. That's something.
Great transition there. No, CarShield, damn right.
You'd have no problem if your roommate was talking to CarShield on the phone either. So carshield.com, 800-857-2481. Mention the promo code CAM, and you're going to save 10%. Again, 800-857-2481. Mention the promo code CAM. You'll save 10%. And speaking of saving 10%, I think my Cameo is like on sale. I think it is 10%.
Holy fuck.
More than 10%.
You fucking can't. Is this going to go on every goddamn live read? CarShield's probably like, why the fuck are you pumping Cameo up when you're supposed to be pumping us up? God damn you.
CarShield.com. Again, take it anywhere you want. Listen, something goes down in your car. You guys know what it is. Something goes down in your car, you're going to be stuck paying thousands and thousands of dollars. But you won't because you pay a small fee every month to have your CarShield.
Yeah, man. It makes everything easier. It simplifies your damn life. So if you know anything goes down, you pay a little bit of money a month and everything's taken care of. You just make a call. They take care of you. Easy peasy, less stress. And we all could use less stress as I listen to my 2 puppy dogs upstairs doing God knows what.
All right, keepithandsome.com and get that sculpting paste, the daily shampoo. You got the Cam bundle, you got the Andy bundle. Get that Fight Ugly hoodie, supports the Montreal Resource Center, support Marco the man. And these are discounted too. Mention the promo code Cam and Strick. You're going to save a lot of money.
Hi, Ty. Hi, little one. Sorry to interrupt everybody, but Andy's little boy came in and he probably heard my voice. And he's like, oh, I'm curious. What's up, kiddo? Look at him. Look at that hair. What's up?
4.5.
Oh, wow. God, you look so old. Wow. You're bigger than your daddy.
We got to finish the 5 year, then we'll go to school, okay?
Yeah. He is so handsome. Holy cow. Looks
promo code
like you.
He does.
Nothing. Andy, he looks, I'm sorry.
Can I tell
he's
Brody?
A sweet, no. He's the sweetest little thing. Too. Nothing like you. Nothing like you.
Brody pumps up Taylor Hall all over his personal Instagram. Loves Taylor Hall. And with all the rumors going around about Taylor Hall, I'm not having it right now.
Well, you better have it because that kid's Taylor Hall. It's
All right, so get
unbelievable.
those Cam and Strick bundles from Keep It Handsome. All right, Bellman.com. You know Dan Bellman. He's the man in Troy, Missouri. Check out the new inventory. They want to buy your used car too. Bellman.com. And do that today. Daredevil Hockey. Again, mention that promo code Cam and Strick. It's all caps.
Yeah.
All caps. Daredevil Hockey. Do not spend an unnecessary night in the hospital. That can
all
be
caps means it's louder, right? When you put all caps, it's like, I'm loud. Ah. Yeah.
Protect your child, your son or daughter. Okay. Protect them.
Even if it's not yours.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, you don't want to see any kid get cut, man.
Exactly.
Man, it's dangerous.
Even if it's not your kid.
Hey, Drive Black Tie. Get the subscription. Choose the fleet of cars that you want. Choose which car you want. And it's that simple. Hit us up. I'm going to get you in touch with the right person. We've got a new promo coming out right now, too. Cam and Strick promo. It's going to save you like hundreds of dollars off your activation fee. So if you want to drive an exotic car like a G-Wagon or a Range Rover or a Porsche, or you want to drive an economy car like Cam, you can do that.
Hey, and listen, they don't have a credit check. So, like, if you're young and you got a little cash and you want to go fucking wheel and deal, catch my drift, dudes, and you want to get that fucking bad, you have no credit check. So listen, you got a little bit of cash, you want to do your fucking thing, you got a hot girl you want to take out. I want to drive this fucking Maserati. And you roll up in that Maserati, you rent that bad boy for the weekend, man, or whatever you want to do with it. You're already mad. You're going to get laid.
Yeah.
You're going to get laid. You get pulled up. She's going to think you have a ton of money. Yeah. You fucking cruise around. Hopefully your credit card is not maxed out. You go to the goddamn restaurant, wine and diner. Then you get back in a Maserati. Oh, she's like, where are we going? Mm-hmm. We're going home. That's what's going to happen. Yeah. No credit check. Check it out. It's a cool, great deal. And you mentioned our promo code, by the way, Cam and Strick, and you get a big chunk off that activation fee.
Yeah.
It's a cool thing to do, man.
There's no doubt. So check it out. That's what we're doing. So when I drive Black Tie, man, you guys should too. All right. We got to get going, man. That was Al Iafrate. We got some great interviews coming up, some wild ones. We kind of mix it up. Like everybody's different. That's what we love about doing this and talking to all these NHL legends. Our next guest probably isn't a legend, but he's a legend in his own mind, man. And he
he thinks he is.
I heard some great stories about him over the weekend too. I wish we would have talked to some of these people before we did the interview, but it's all good. We'll get him on again. Yeah. We don't want to say who it is who's coming up next. So anyway, lots of other good stuff. You want to hit us up. You need anything, man. Our messages are always open. We mean that. Instagram, Twitter. We love the support we get from all our listeners throughout Canada and the U.S. It's been a fun ride, and we are going one a week right now. The NHL schedule, Cam, has picked up so crazy here throughout.
I know. It's such a fucking clusterfuck.
Oh my God. April, May, whatever. So
there's too much shit going on. And we talk about this. There's too much shit going on for us to do. People are watching hockey. Like they can't keep up with it. You can't keep up with 2 a fucking week. So once everything slows down, Andy's working his ass off with the Blues. He has to be down there all the goddamn time. So it's just like, it's just too much shit going on for people. On the weekends they're texting, like they're getting caught up. But once everything slows down, man, we're going to be banging out 2 a week and it's going to be coming at you fucking hot.
So we'll be back doing that before you know it. So everybody enjoy the interview. Hope everybody's doing great, getting ready for springtime. And thanks for the support. Don't forget to go to camandstrick.com, by the way. Everything you need there, all the shows. We get messages every day, Cam, real quick, from people who are just starting listening, who are just catching up. And we love that, man. So welcome to the new listeners, too. Not just the OGs who have been there since day one, but we've got new ones that are joining us every day.
Yep. Love you guys. And, we could, if there's a company out there that wants to jump on board with us, man, to keep these fucking wheels spinning. It's not, it's not, it costs money to put this fucking thing on. So we need all the support we can. We want to grow it as much as possible. So I know Canada's shut down. I get it, guys. I know guys are struggling. So it's like, do what you got to do. But if you want to be a part of this, you want to get some marketing, we'll help you pump up your company, whatever you guys want to do. And you could jump on board and you're dealing with Andy and I. You're not dealing with anybody else. So it's a pretty cool thing.
Yeah, and I need a barbecue grill, so hit me up on that, okay?
Would you stop begging for shit?
Okay. And
I'll buy one.
Yeah, I've got some commencement speeches to do for Harvard and Yale here coming up later this
afternoon. Me too.
And the Penn Business School too. So I mean, it's amazing how they're coming in all the time, Cam.
Yeah. Well, now you got that discount. They're like, oh fuck, it's worth it now.
They just keep coming. All right. This has been the Cam and Strick Podcast, episode number 131. Cheers.